What's your shot?
Oh, what a shot. Holy jumping, what a shot. He's
Looking for the perfect gift? Give
a shot. And Burakovsky makes a fabulous pass.
Redeemable at any Loca quality market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a
through two sticks. Connor! His first of the season. A rocket. And it's tied at 1.
At participating Wendy's, taxes extra. But hurry, this deal ends October 26th.
Edmonton Elks Campus Clash is back, presented by Innova. October 11th versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, featuring $18 student tickets.
Yes, he can run.
District.
Oh, into the end zone. Touchdown. The Dodgers win.
The Jason Gregor Show.
As well as he's throwing in more pressure off, and a Hawks in a shot. His first of the season. A rocket. And it's tied at 1.
On Sports 1440.
He can run. And the error. He can run all the way to the end zone. Touchdown.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Hess breaks his back. Kirkling gotta find it. Throws the play. Oh my goodness! It throws it away. And the Dodgers win. The Dodgers win.
Fantastic Friday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as, of course, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram for Sports 1440 or Oilers Nation. And you'll see if you're watching us online, I got another one of the new shirts that we unveiled today from 780. You can check that out online, written out 7 and then 80.com, or go to the Sports 1440 page there, or you can go to Sports 1440, our website. You'll see it up there. Any of their 5 locations, they got them in store, and they're going fast. A wide variety. It's our first drop of the year with those, and they'll go quick. So if you want to get some, check it out. You can see we have 6 different options in 6 different colors, including green, of course. We got blue and light green. And Cons, what color is yours?
Pink, I guess. I
would say that's it's kind of like purplish pink almost.
Pink, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what the proper color of that is, but looks good.
I think I can wear it on World Bullying Day or Anti-Bullying Day.
Oh, is that the color?
Because I don't have a pink shirt. So when it's World Pink Shirt Day or whatever it's called, I might be butchering that. Dual purpose. Remember that.
Oh, well, there you go. That's the key. So we'll get. I know I had a lot of people saying I'd like an orange one. Well, don't worry. We'll get different colors as we go. So if you want to check it out, you can. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. $10 million up for grabs tonight in Lotto Max. Also, a pivotal Game 5. Seattle and Detroit will go at it tonight. The winner will jet out to Toronto to take on the Jays on Sunday. So the game on Sunday is 5:30 Edmonton time, and then on Monday it'll be at 2:30 Edmonton time. You can listen to both games right here on Sports 1440. You're home for the Jays playoffs. So check it out Sunday and Monday. I think you'll enjoy it, of course. Then they'll have Tuesday off, and they play Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in either Seattle or Detroit. We'll find out later on tonight. We know the Dodgers are moving on. Oh my goodness. They had bases loaded. They had a comeback into the pitcher, and he just kind of he didn't handle it cleanly. And then even though he had time, could have threw it to first. He doesn't. Tries to go home, throws it wide, and the Dodgers win. It's a tough way to lose in the playoffs. The Cubbies at home spanked the Brewers, so now that'll be game 5 on Saturday. So you got a lot of playoffs. Tonight, elimination game. Tomorrow, elimination game. And then the series in the AL will start on Sunday, and then the NL will start on Monday. Also this weekend, the green and gold, the Edmonton Elks. They play at 5 against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Must-win matchup. Win and you stay in the playoff race. Lose and they'll be officially eliminated. So they need a win. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers take it on the Vancouver Canucks. They're just trying to avoid going winless in their first 2 games. Edmonton, of course, dropping a 4-3 shootout loss to Calgary on Wednesday. And the Canucks hosted those same Calgary Flames last night, and they outscored them 5-1. So Vancouver comes in undefeated early on in the season. There was another hat trick in the NHL last night. This time it's Kyle Connor. Day after Pavel Dorofeev scored a hat trick. So hat trick's going pretty easily early on in the National Hockey League season. The game, though, I don't know if you watched it or not, but I put it up on my socials. The San Jose Vegas game. Deck, I don't know if you can get that link or not, but the San Jose Sharks had played a really good game. You know, you're taking on Vegas, who obviously has more talent than the San Jose Sharks. I think we'd all agree with that. And through the first 58 minutes, San Jose's doing pretty well. They're leading 3-2. Now the goalie's pulled. And young Eklund, it's a race for the puck. One hands it, it goes wide of the net. Okay, it's going to happen. Now he goes and picks it up behind the net, beats the Vegas guys to it. He's got a wraparound, empty net. And somehow it slides. I don't know how he missed that. As he was doing the wraparound, it slid down his blade, and he didn't get any wood on it. Ends up hitting the side of the net. So the play stays alive. Vegas gets it in their own zone. Jack Eichel from the goal line skates it out to center, flips it in. And Nedeljkovic gets beat on a bouncer from center with 1:34 to go, ties the game. And then I don't know if you saw the overtime goal. Oh, man. Nedeljkovic, that's a tough one. He comes out to play it because the puck moves up. It's dumped from Vegas' zone into San Jose's zone. Remember, it's 3-on-3. He skates out to just inside his own blue line, goes to shoot it. He's got the whole ice, and he shoots it. Remember, there's only 3 players on the ice on each team. Shoots it right into Riley Smith's pads. Then it ricochets. Shea Theodore keeps it in the blue line. One hands it ahead. Smith's got a wide open net in overtime. So you went from leading Vegas with 1.5 to go to losing 4-3 on 2 just not great plays. Not great plays. That is a tough one. Sometimes you'll lose. So the Detroit Red Wings last night, they get off to a great start against. Dylan Larkin scores early. Nope. They lose 5-1. And I know I just like to point out, because people always, I think they only think Stuart Skinner's the only goalie who ever struggles. John Gimson allowed 5 goals in his first 13 shots of the game. They only allowed 17 shots in the entire game. Cam Talbot came in. He only faced 4 shots in the final 22 minutes. Detroit, they played pretty well. You only allow 17 shots on goal. Then go through the games. It happens. Nedeljkovic, I can give you some other ones. Go look at Binnington last night. Like it's going to happen. It sucks when it's game 1. And so I don't know if Stuart Skinner's going to play tomorrow. My spidey sense when I was watching practice today tells me I think Calvin Pickett's going to start in goal tomorrow night. And I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the first game. I know last year Knobloch talked about he liked getting his goalies in early. So maybe it's just that. He's like, hey, want to get him going? Away we go. But I don't know. I can't say it's for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Calvin Pickard in goal tomorrow night for the Edmonton Oilers. We have a loaded show for you. Brandon Batchelor will join us. We'll talk a little Canucks. They come to town, and Mr. Coots, the pride of Sherwood Park, the 18-year-old, he's going to play tomorrow night in basically his hometown. If you're from Sherwood Park, your hometown in the NHL is the Edmonton Oilers. No question. So there'll probably be a pretty big cheering section for the Coots family and all of his buddies. That's going to be a pretty big moment. His second NHL game in his home city. That's pretty awesome. Lorianne Munzer will be by. We got Wanye Gretz, 2-minute warning with Tater. We're going to talk some Elks and Bombers at 3 o'clock. We got Craig Button, 4 o'clock, Spec, Low Tide. Also had a one-on-one today with Andrew Mangiapane. He is going to skate in his 500th NHL game tomorrow night. So we talk about that. The fact that, a lot of his family's coming in. Of course, Grandma and Grandpa are pretty pumped because they get to see their grandson. Andrew and his wife became proud parents back on August 7th. Actually they came to Edmonton a little bit early because he was due August 20th. They arrived in Edmonton on the 4th, and then their young son arrived a few weeks earlier on the 7th of August, and he's doing great. A little bit of less sleep early on, but he says now he's fine. And so Grandma and Grandpa here, so aunts and uncles are coming in to see their grandson and our nephew, but also to see their son and brother play in his 500th NHL game tomorrow night. Jack Roslovic will not play tomorrow night. He did practice, did skate. He wasn't wearing a white jersey as he rotated in on the top two lines, but he's not going to go. Darnell Nurse didn't skate today, homesick, but Knobloch said he expects him to go tomorrow. Troy Stetcher, who played a lot of left defense last year, was playing the left side with Regula, but Knobloch mentioned he fully expects that you will see Darnell Nurse in the lineup tomorrow night. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Is there really a World Bullying Day from Richard? Honestly, Richard, I'd never heard that before. But there's a day for everything, so I guess there could be, but I'd never heard that. Connor's Mr. Knows what's on certain days. Hot dog day, taco day, hamburger day, radio day, brown hair day. I'm not sure about the last one.
I misspoke because that would be a bad day dedicated to bullying. But Pink Shirt Day will be February 25th in 2026, and it is against bullying. So
yes,
that's a thing. Not a Golden Bully Day. We don't want to endorse that by any means.
We had a lot of text, people laughing. Connor, World Bullying Day, promoting it. Awesome.
That's me. The bully of Edmonton sports.
We're anti-bullying day. Okay. Yeah. February when? 15th?
26th.
Oh, okay. Wonder how they just pick these days. I'd be curious. Like what's the deciding factor on what becomes a certain day? I have no idea. I'd just be curious. So, and
quickly, since my mic is on, we'll have Farhan at 2:20 now, Bachelor at 3:20.
Oh, we're doing a little switch here.
Oh yeah.
All right, nothing wrong with that. Hey, Greg's, where to get that sweet T-shirt? Very easy. You can get it at 780. The stores. I got 5 locations in Edmonton, including out at the airport, of course, West Edmonton Mall and others. The one on South Side, of course. What's that? God, what? It used to be not Heritage Mall. What's it called? Southgate? Southgate. Yeah. Shows how much I shop. But yeah, Southgate has it. And I think Londonderry as well. So, but also if it's easiest for you, you can just go online, 7, like written in words, and then 80.com. And you'll see it right on the front page, Sports 1440. Just scroll down, you see the big Sports 1440, and you can click on the options right there. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, boys, who's going to have a bigger crowd, the Elks or the Oilers? Well, it's not even a question, John. Like, are you serious? Can only have 18,000 at the Oilers game. There will be more than 18,000 at the Elks game. Not much debate, I wouldn't think. The Elks, no, I don't think they're going to get 30,000 like their last game. I hope so. It's basically a playoff game. And as we said, it's the doubleheader option to go to 5 o'clock for the Elks and then 8 o'clock for the Oilers. How many of you are doing the double dip tomorrow? There's got to be some. Got to be some of you. Come on. I'd hope so. Also, if you want to go to the Elks game, we got a few pairs of tickets we will give away. Why don't we do that right now? It's Positive Friday. Let's just pump it out. If you want some Elks tickets, we got 2 pairs to go to the game tomorrow. 833-401-1440. Just text in with your name and your email, and Cons will pick 2 random winners to go. Hey, Gregor, why does Frederick get these looks in the first line? He's shown nothing so far. He looks like a poor skater with no hands. It's a legit question. CJ in Edmonton. All of It's one game, CJ. Are you serious right now? So one game he didn't score. That means you got to change the lines. Like, it's one game. I wouldn't. The Oilers scored one goal, 5-on-5. I don't know, one game. I don't think it. The coach has options, and they'll probably change different guys up. But one game preseason, I don't count preseason as anything. To be honest, it's not that much intensity. I don't really look at it. So to way I say, hey, Trent Fredericks had one game in the top 6. Will he stay there all year? No, he won't. But I don't think Trent Frederick was the reason they lost game 1. So I would give a guy an opportunity before one game, because I could list a lot of guys in the one game who didn't do a whole lot. So that's how it goes. Actually, Chris Knobloch said he actually quite liked that line, 5-on-5, and Trent Frederick. Well, you know what? Didn't get on the score sheet. Well, neither McDavid or Dries. Well, McDavid did with the Mangiapane assist, but 5-on-5, they generated lots of shots. Didn't score many, but overall, Knobloch said he quite liked that line and would like a little bit more scoring chances from the rest of his lineup. It doesn't sound like there'll be many lineup changes to tomorrow night. So he might just stick with it. And so that means Lazar and Stetcher could both be out again tomorrow night. Let's take a quick break. We'll return. We'll give those tickets away. We'll talk a little football. We got some hockey talk, kind of mix in both as well on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money.
Fluent?
Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy round black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Ah, Hawaii. The warmth of a golden sunset as the waves roll in. The freshness of a waterfall. The lush scent of tropical flowers in the air.
You don't need to travel to enjoy all Hawaii has to offer. You just need to order pizza. Bring Hawaii home with the Aloha Trio, available for a limited time at Papa John's. Try our classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken for just $19.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440. After every game this season, tune in to Andrew Walker for the post-game show. Let's talk some hockey. Let's talk about the game on Sports 1440.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved heavy truck auctions are next Thursday at 9 a.m. with Tritum, tandem, and single axle trucks including tractors, diggers, decks, dumps, plows, vacs, man lifts, pickers, refuse trucks, and more. Info at maauctions.com.
Hey, busy parents, want some spare time while your kids have a blast? Bowl Canada helps you split your time wisely. Sign up today for our Kids Bowling League. Visit bowlcanada.ca. They'll strike it big, and you'll have a ball.
Mission Rail and Auctioneering's 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved equipment auctions are next Friday at 9 a.m., featuring a large selection of surplus municipal graders plus backhoes, dozers, wheel loaders, man lifts, skid steers, telehandlers, plus commercial trailers and more. Info at maauctions.com.
Hey there, this is your wake-up call. It's time to change to your winter tires. Unless you want to be sliding and swerving around icy roads like you're some kind of dummy, head to Big Toy Shop and get it done right for a great price. We won't lie to you, inflate your bill, or waste your time. Time to change your tires. Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. 780-298-2797.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Did you get 2 Elks winners? 220. Welcome back. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. You're everywhere. Hey, you want to see the new tees? Well, you can, if you're watching online, that's where you'll be able to see them. Or, of course, just go get yours at 780. A proud partner with Sports 1440. 6 different ones to choose from in our first drop, but they're going fast. So limited numbers. So you might want to check it out this week. Let's get to our football report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They are hiring. If you want to work for a fantastic company where you get a hiring bonus, you will get very competitive wage, RSP matching, tuition reimbursement. Go to legacyheating.ca and apply today. From the CFL on TSN, Farhan Lalji joins us. And Farhan, there's only one playoff spot left in the CFL. Ottawa and Toronto have been eliminated. The Elks, they need a win tomorrow against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and I guess it could get some help if Hamilton beats Calgary. So you look at this game for the Elks. They've been playing better as of late, but the Bombers got their quarterback back, and before the bye, man, they looked really good.
Yeah, and you have to wonder with Winnipeg whether it's a one-shot deal, because obviously when you're playing with Chris Streveler at quarterback, that's going to incredibly limit your offense, right? But even before that with Zach, it was kind of up and down. So they kind of got the genie out of the bottle again in that last game with the 40 points. So, is this going to be the Winnipeg team that we see going forward? We'll see. But I'm thinking Edmonton to win this game. I just think that Mark Killam, even though, look, this is the longest of long shots for Edmonton to get in, but they've still got a shot, and there's 3 weeks left, so they might as well play like that. Mark Killam certainly has this group buying in from the people I've kind of talked to in and around it. So I just think the way Edmonton is playing, especially defensively, they're going to give Winnipeg some problems. That game's at home. It's shaping up to be a pretty good crowd from what I'm told. So I like Edmonton to keep this thing going for one more week.
All right. Yeah, well, and then who knows? Then they got BC. They would obviously need some help on the out-of-town scoreboard. The lines look very good, but even Calgary now is within striking distance, and they're floundering a little bit, and they play each other in the final weekend. So you never know, but obviously it'll start with the win against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And you look at the defense of the Elks, which has improved immensely as the season's gone on. How do you see that matchup of D-line versus the Bombers O-line?
Yeah, look, I don't think the Bombers O-line is as special as it once was. I think there are matchups there that Edmonton can win. Edmonton's got Brinkman coming back. They've got Robbie Smith coming back. I think it'll be a better group. They'll be deeper. Their rotations will be better. So, and I think J.C. Sherritt's kind of figured out a way how to unlock some of those guys, even without a Jake Serezno. They're getting better pressure than they have at any point this season. So, I think that, Yeah, like I said, this is not the Winnipeg O-line of yesteryear. The biggest thing they've got going for them is their running game can soften teams up a little bit and take some pressure off the O-line, and then Zach can get the ball out quick, right? So he certainly has the ability to make a lot of people around him look better than they otherwise would. So, but I like I said, I like the matchups Edmonton has in that particular area, Edmonton's D-line versus Winnipeg's O-line.
Farhan Lawley joins us. Farhan, Stephen Dunbar would be a massive addition to the Elks. Like their receiving core is good, but I just think, getting Dunbar in early on when he was playing, the guy was open a ton, really good route runner. And I just wonder if he can come back in. We know that, their main guy's Rankin for sure is a running back and even catching balls out of the backfield. But I think Dunbar would be a massive addition to their offense.
Well, I think he'd be a good addition. Look, I think Edmonton's got a pretty pedestrian receiving core. And it's an area that I'm sure Ed Hervey's going to address next year, right? I think they're just a group of okay compared to the rest of the league. And so, yeah, Dunbar can be an effective piece and certainly was earlier in the year. But like on most pieces, Stephen Dunbar is a wide receiver 3, right? Like he's not a 1 or a 2. So, and Winnipeg's got Jamal Parker coming back into their secondary, right? So there's some matchups there that I'm curious to see how they play out. And Cody Fajardo is such a master at getting the ball out of his hands early, right? I mean, he doesn't necessarily have the velocity or deep ball accuracy that certain quarterbacks have, but yet he's able to make those throws because of how well he understands coverage and how well he anticipates and gets the ball into certain spots. And I think that's definitely something that he can work well with a veteran player like Stephen Dunbar. So, he'll certainly be a factor when he gets put back into the lineup. But I don't know that Stephen Dunbar's a game changer, right?
Not a game changer, but just a reliable guy, right? And I think
For sure. Yeah, that's fair.
Because they don't really have, I don't know if they have a go-to receiver right now.
No, I agree with you. And this is what I've said about that group. And again, I'm not saying this as a criticism because I understand how Ed Hervey builds and it's position group at a time, and maybe, a group like the D-line and the way he tried to build that didn't necessarily work the way they wanted because of the injuries and what have you. But there was a specific methodical approach to building. And this is actually what happened the first time when Mike Riley came and Ed Hervey was here. And I think he's going to take a similar approach here and their receiving core will be better next year. But you're right. I mean, it's not that kind of group yet. You don't have the pieces like a Keon Hatcher, who will be a free agent at the end of the year. So maybe Ed Hervey takes a run at him, or a Justin McInnes, or some of the guys they've got in Montreal, or you pick a destination. They don't have that go-to guy, and quite frankly, I don't know that they've got a go-to 1 or a 2, right?
Yeah, no, that's I would totally agree. Even the injury to Mathis, I think hurt them for sure. I think it was a big body that they were really hoping to build around, and basically got the broken tailbone. And I don't expect him to return this season. Looking at the Calgary Stampeders, because they are still mathematically a team that Edmonton could catch. How concerned are you about the Stamps? They've been quite the free fall here the last third of the season.
Yeah, and I'm trying to put my finger on why, because I think in the first couple of games, the issue, in my opinion, obviously there were some, Vernon Adams wasn't seeing the game the same way in the 2 games against Edmonton and even coming out of that. But, I think he's gotten better. He's been able to dial up a couple of deep balls, or at least he did against BC last week. I kind of agree with Dave Dickinson that he's done enough good things for them to win in each of the last 2 games. He hasn't necessarily been the reason they would have or should have won. But defensively, I think those are where the big hiccups are. And then, when I was asked about that earlier, I thought, God, this team is not generating pressure the way they used to. And Jalen Hutchings, who had turned into such a beast for them, had kind of gone quiet since coming back from injury. Well, all of a sudden against the Lions, they get 3 sacks in the first half. They're able to affect the passer a little bit there. And, so I'm trying to put my finger on why. I've always kind of thought they were smoke and mirroring it in the secondary. Okay. So, but we'll see. But there's some concerns there. I think they've got a lot of different areas of their team. It's always easy to hang on the quarterback, but I think there's a lot of different areas on that team that need to improve 10%, not 50%. 10%. And, even the fact that they've been falling behind in some of these games, like against the Lions, they fell behind big early. And now all of a sudden that takes your best player, Dedrick Mills, out of the game, right? Mm-hmm. And that becomes a challenge. So can they stay out in front early? But yeah, when I look at this team, I don't think it's been awful, but they just find enough mistakes or find enough plays that they leave out there that they're finding a way to lose these last couple of games. And we'll see if they can change it.
What about the BC Lions? Are they the best team in the league right now?
I think they're right there with the contenders. I think best is a strong statement, and I'm such a big Davis Alexander fan as well. And Montreal's a different team with him, and I still think Saskatchewan is the most complete team, right? Even though their offense has slowed down a bit, and but when I look at BC, Nathan Rourke is operating at such a high level in his games this year, the 14 games that he's played, and he's averaging 327 yards per game. The team has been over 30 points per game in 9 of their last 11. They're really, really efficient on first down. So they're doing so many things well, and they've got so many different ways to beat you that even when James Butler has a quieter game in the last game, as a running back, he can do some things out of the backfield and gets almost 100 yards there. So Buck has done a really good job of finding, what works and kind of evolving the offense to the players. And then the other thing that's going to happen next week coming out of the bye is they're going to get their 2 best offensive tackles back. So Jarrell Broxton, who for my money has been the best O-lineman in the league this year, has missed the last 2 games. And then Dejon Allen, who was the league's outstanding lineman 2 years ago, has missed most of the season with a torn bicep. Well, he's been practicing, and he's going to be starting coming out of the bye week. So all of a sudden, they're going to get that much better up front. So I think they're dangerous, and the defense is getting better as well with their D-line. I wouldn't call them an elite defense, but, Matthew Betts, 10 sacks in the last 4 games, and the amount of pressure they're able to get, it's kind of masking some of the holes in the secondary, right? So I think they're getting hot at the right time.
Farhan, I know you're a big Mariners fan. What's your thoughts heading into the game tonight, Mariners and Detroit?
I'm nervous because they're facing that stud pitcher who they've beaten 3 times this year. Can they win a 4th? Right? Like that, that's the tough one, right? I think the last game was the one they needed to win, and they got up 3-0 in that game. But look, the crowd is great. I think for the most part, they've been a consistent hitting team the last 2 months of the season, right? So, I'm going to be at my son's high school football game, so I'm not going to be able to watch that game. But believe me, I'll be following it on Twitter or on one of these apps here because I'm a little. I'm nervous because you get to take a 2-1 lead in this thing. You got to find a way to close it out, and it's been such a special season for them and such a good finish that I would hate to see them not find a way. And then we can get this Mariner Blue Jay thing underway early next week.
Well, that would be fun. Hey, the Jays are playing really well right now, and it would be.
Are they? I don't know. I wouldn't know. I haven't followed it.
Yeah. No, they're playing really well as a team, right? And I know that. I'm sure as somebody who's a Seattle fan, you're probably a little tired of all the Jays talk, aren't you?
You are, absolutely. Yeah. I can't stand the Jays because they just take up far too much oxygen for my liking. I've never liked them as a kid growing up. When I thought that that you should like a Canada team, I always liked the Expos, and then I liked the Mariners when they were close. And when the Expos left, it didn't make me like the Jays anymore. And so the fact that we got to listen to Jays stuff for the next 10 days is not enjoyable, whether they're facing the M's or not.
That's true. Now,
I can tell you how I really feel.
Yeah, no, hey man, I appreciate it. Don't sugarcoat it. That would be boring. Like, oh no, I can cheer for the Jays or my second. I don't like the like your biggest rival. And in this case, I know Seattle and Toronto are big rivals, but when you reside in Canada, I could see if you like another team, the Jays would be like a big rival. So suddenly cheering for them, it's like Calgary Flames fans saying, "Oh, I'm going to cheer for Edmonton in the playoffs." No, it's never going to happen, and I wouldn't expect it to happen. Nor would I expect a Canuck fan to suddenly cheer for Edmonton in the playoffs. Like it would make no sense to me. Or even in the regular season, saying, "Oh yeah, like Edmonton's my second favorite team." Like I don't.
Well, again, we get people out here that are on the Blue Jay bandwagon, and I get it if you are. Like, fill your boots. But the idea that we shouldn't care as much when the Seahawks have 3,500 season ticket holders from BC. And they have a huge fan base out here, much like Buffalo and Toronto. So why does it work in one sport but not in the other? Just because we have a Toronto team and we've got to say they're Canada's team? I don't get it. Because if the regional aspect of it matters to you for the NFL, it should be allowed to for Major League Baseball as well.
Yeah, for sure. What do you make in the NFL of like all the upsets suddenly here, Farhan? You got the Giants over the Eagles last night, and Mr. Dart all of a sudden is looking like, geez, maybe he's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, look, I liked him in the draft process. I had him as my second best quarterback after Cam Ward, and I liked a lot of what he did in college. And when you get to a point as an organization, if you're Brian Daboll, it wasn't working with Russell Wilson, so you can just at that point say, look, I might as well throw something at the wall here because my job's on the line, right? Like he would have been gone by mid-season if they didn't have this figured out. So I think this kid is really, really poised. He reminds me a lot of Bo Nix a year ago, right? And different type of player than Jaden Daniels. But if you hit right on these, there are guys that can play and function effectively early, right? I'm not a believer in Dylan Gabriel necessarily, but I think Dart, when you put him behind that run game, I think he can be a really, really effective player. And he sees the game and processes at a really high level. If you listen to his collegiate coaches talk during the draft process. So I like what's happened. And yeah, it's been a wild year. I just keep expecting KC to turn it back on, and I still think they will, because ultimately they're two Mahomes goal line interceptions away from being 5-1 right now, right? It happened against Philadelphia and then happened again this weekend. But, there are teams that you certainly expect to be able to take a step. And I think you're seeing teams that see how wide open it is right now. Right? There's nothing obvious. Philadelphia is no longer obvious. And so even if you're a team like Cleveland, or if you're a team like Cincinnati, right, you're like, we could still get back in this. We could still do this now. And so you go out and trade for a Joe Flacco. You look in the NFC West. I could not have imagined. I thought this division was going to be awful, right? And I thought because of that, I thought the Seahawks could take it. But now you see what San Francisco's done with their injuries, and you see what the Rams have been able to sustain since last year. And this is arguably, it's arguably the best division in the conference, right? Like, I think they're really, really good. So it's been wildly unpredictable, and quarterback plays a big reason for it.
Farhan, have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the games. And quickly before I let you go, the Canucks last night got the win over Calgary. And what do you think Coots' chance are of staying past 10 games?
I don't know. He's got some things that they desperately need, and that is a right-handed center. They don't have one. So right now, Teddy Bluger's out of the lineup, and that's opened up a bit of an opportunity at center where the Canucks are weak. So, there's options here, right? I mean, he could do the 9-game thing and go back to junior. He could do the 41-game thing. So they've still got the year, right? Like, there's different ways that they could play it. And talking to them, I don't think they've just made an assumption. If I was betting, I'd say he'd be back in junior at the 9-game mark. But, and I know there's a lot of interest in him out there in Sherwood Park, and I do expect him to be in the lineup tomorrow night in front of the hometown crowd there. But there's a lot to like about him. He's got a very, very mature game. He played a little over 11 minutes last night. I didn't really notice him, which is a good thing, because they weren't afraid to put him out there in defensive zone faceoffs and get the odd matchup like that, right? So I think they're really excited about him. But at some point, if you're going to be that age and you're going to stick, you better be noticeable. You better force them to make you stick. So let's see what the next few games look like there.
Awesome stuff, man. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Take care. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there you go. Gobble, gobble. That is Farhan Walsby from TS. And 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Man, people are fired up today. Hey, Gregor, just because another goalie makes mistakes doesn't mean that Skinner should be able to. From Frank. I never said so. Two things can be true at once. Skinner made a bad play on the third goal. True. Other goalies around the league make bad plays that lead to goals against. Both happen. Now, if people always say, hey, they need a more consistent goalie, okay, sure. Then name the goalie. That's all I want. Just name the goalie. Who is the goalie that you are 100% certain is better? And don't say Sorokin, because the odds of him being available are pretty damn low. Plus, if you get Sorokin, you got to ship out Skinner plus an additional $5 million in cap space to do it. So, let's look at it realistically. But who's a realistic option? Hey, if they find one, awesome. I think Stuart Skinner's got to play better. Well, I think Stuart Skinner's just got to play more consistent. That's what I would say. I thought that one decision, which was basically like 3 seconds of the game, the rest of the game, he was fine. I had no issue with his game. I actually thought he played pretty well. But that big mistake came in a very crucial time in the game that shouldn't be made. It's totally fair. It's valid to say that. But trying to connect, like, we got this Sam in Vancouver. Legit number one starters would definitely be starting both games. If Skinner isn't starting both games, he's clearly not the starter, and the organization doesn't have faith, said Michael. It's another guy, basically two guys with similar points. Well, early on, first of all, not many teams have played two games. But so Jeremy Swayman, who's the starter in Boston, he didn't play both of their games. Spencer Knight didn't play both of the games for Chicago. Darcy Kemper didn't play both of the games for LA. Sam Montembeault didn't play both of the games for Montreal. Tristan Jarry didn't play both of the games for Pittsburgh. And Aiden Hill didn't play both games for Vegas. It's going to happen, right? Skinner has to play more consistent, full stop. I think it's if every time Stuart Skinner allows a goal you don't like, means that they automatically have to get rid of him. So what if he plays great for 20 games and has one bad game? Does that mean he's inconsistent? No, I don't think it is. It means he's a normal goalie. Because we could probably save bad goals from around the NHL and just play them every next day on our show. And you'd see that there's good goalies allow bad goals. Skinner's got to reduce the bad goals. That is totally fair. That's how I would view it. I think trying to connect other dots doesn't make much sense to me. Skinner's got to be more consistent. Full stop. Nothing more. He has to be more consistent. That's all. But you could say that about a lot of goalies, but he's one of them for sure. Kind of like Connor Halley, Vezina Trophy winner. Does he have to be more consistent in the playoffs? I think so, by quite a big margin. Quick break. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
It's back. The world's best curlers are returning to this queue for the Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge. Join us October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center as top teams from around the globe battle it out for glory on the pebbled ice. Enjoy world-class curling and an unforgettable fan experience, all right here in our community. The Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge, October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center. Don't miss it.
When it comes to sports in Edmonton, Jason Gregor is a must-listen. He brings you the inside scoop with guests from across North America. If it matters in sports, you'll hear it here first. Gregor rolls out weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports 1440.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Ah, Hawaii. The warmth of a golden sunset as the waves roll in. The freshness of a waterfall. The lush scent of tropical flowers in the air. You don't need to travel to enjoy all Hawaii has to offer. You just need to order pizza. Bring Hawaii home with the Aloha Trio, available for a limited time at Papa John's. Try our classic Hawaiian, super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken for just $19.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved heavy truck auctions are next Thursday at 9 a.m. with Tridom, tandem, and single axle trucks including tractors, diggers, decks, dumps, plows, vacs, man lifts, pickers, refuse trucks, and more. Info at maauctions.com.
When it comes to choosing a hair clinic, the difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. Transforming how you feel about yourself is a very personal experience, and I'll work directly with you every step of the way.
Physicians come from all over the world to learn from Dr. Elliott.
When your personal goal is to help other people achieve theirs, you must deeply understand the latest treatments.
Want to feel confident and comfortable? The difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott at drvanceelliott.com.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved industrial auctions are next Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large selection of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and you can play score and win every game. See more at OnTheRocksYEG.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
2:44 as we continue on. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Of course, a busy weekend, double dip for Edmonton fans tomorrow. Actually, all 32 NHL teams in action tomorrow. That'll be the second time, and it only happens twice this year, but on Saturday and then again on Tuesday, October 28th, all 32 teams will be in action. There is the Black Friday has 30 of 32 teams playing. So those are the busiest days on the NHL schedule this season. Oilers and Canucks, but also you have the Elks and the Blue Bombers, 5 o'clock. So far, we have 10 texters who have said they're doing the doubleheader tomorrow. I'm keeping track. If you're doing the double dip, let us know, 833-401-1440. Be curious how many people are doing it. So, if you haven't done it before, it's pretty fun. No question. Now, let's go In the Mind, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years in business. They keep growing, keep expanding, and they're looking for more great people to work for them. Second, third, and fourth year apprentices. You can apply. Send your resume, careers at actionelectrical.net. As an Olympic gold medalist and a mental coach, Lorianne Munzer joins us, as she always does on Friday afternoons. Lorianne, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome, Jason. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. Now, you have the Be Her Game Changer panel breakfast event. Now, was that yesterday or is it next Thursday?
That was yesterday morning. Yeah.
It was yesterday morning, right? And that was, you had the Plouffe sisters there, Vanessa Hettinger, yourself. What was your main takeaway from that?
I think it was the words belief and mindset. There was a common theme between all of us. Janine Helen was also joining us, soccer player, also with the Pandas. And it was just, all of us have a different journey. It's totally different sports, 3-on-3, hockey, soccer, and track cycling. And it really comes down to, the power of a community, the power of collaborating and creating and also giving back into the community. But success really starts with belief. And it was really interesting. Vanessa had a really great point because she works with a lot of male athletes, a lot of female athletes. And just the approach is very different. And it was really interesting, this perspective, because she said with boys or guys, success is about achieving first, and then comes belonging. And with females and girls, it's about belonging first, and then the belief comes. And it really struck me as interesting because I was competing against the men when I was training and racing. And it was just really interesting, the different perspectives that you have from both sexes here. But just really that belief part can either make or break whether you're working towards the win, you're working towards a championship, even qualifying, or just moving through X number of games throughout the season.
Now, it's interesting how, what is the, you said how for guys need success, but so what's the big thing then that you took away from what the women athletes are looking for in young girls and how it's different?
I don't know if it's totally all of that, but the belief part runs through core, it runs through everything. Because if you don't believe you can do it, Jason, it's never going to happen. If you start to believe you can, there's confidence that comes from it. The attitude, which is your thinking, your feeling, and then your action. So that's your execution, is essential and it's key. But then there's also the core thing, because when I was talking with Janine, she's part of a soccer team. I was an individual athlete, so totally different infrastructures. And again, it's that belief, the support system that you have or that you don't have. If you don't have it, how do you find it? If you do have it, how do you keep it going for the whole entire season? Or what do you do when you've, hit I'm going to call it a bad whoop, or you have a really bad game, you make some bad choices that cost the team. What are you going to do? And how quickly can you actually reset? And that part is essential.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Now, speaking of mindsets, you get into the playoffs, and we should tie it in, the Jays mindset, it's obviously very much a team. They have different guys who step up. And when you're in a team environment, is it easier or harder? Like if everybody's contributing, you feel like, oh God, I got to contribute. Or is it easier because you're like, well, geez, if I don't contribute this day, there's likely someone else that's going to, and then the next day will be my turn.
I think you run into trouble, Jason, if you start thinking like that. Well, if I don't contribute today, then tomorrow's my day. Tomorrow may never come, first off, but it's what are you going to do in the here and now, like right now? Your environment really can make or break you, but it's really first looking at what can you control, and that starts to create what the environment is around you. Because if it's not great, you can either subscribe to that point of view, or you can decide to flip the switch and do something different and change it on the spot. And you can literally change it like in a moment, literally.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, well, you definitely can in that regard. The collaboration, giving back is something that we obviously want to teach to young athletes for sure. I think it's just important for them. A lot of young athletes can be gifted with really good athleticism, and how our society works is that sometimes people, view elite athleticism as somehow that makes you a better person. Just means you're a better athlete. Doesn't mean you're a better person. Mm-hmm. And I think at times there needs to be a reminder that, yeah, you might be a great athlete, but you need to be a good person.
Oh, absolutely. That comes hand in hand. And I think it's also part of the role of what you're gifted when you are on that stage, whether it's Olympics, NHL, CFL, it is about giving back. It's about empowering. It's about uplifting those around you. And sometimes we look at it like, if it's your competitor, then what do you do? And you're not supposed to, lift them up, or you're not supposed to say, hey, good job. But yet you see it a lot in competition. It's just like, oh man, I got schooled. But you learn from it, Jason. And that's the part is I've always found, and I've seen it in action, is that athletes learn more when they're contributing, when they're giving back, whether it's after their sport, like at an event, or it's in the game. And sometimes just those moments of, hey, what can I do to level up and uplift somebody else can be the total game changer.
Lori-Ann Munzer joins us, Sports 1440. You've had to be in, must-win situations as an athlete. Now, individual and a team, it's different. It's similar in the same. It's like win, move on, lose, go home. And there is more pressure. How do you find the balance to embrace the pressure but not have it overwhelm you?
Ooh, embrace the pressure or not overwhelm you. I can speak from, do or die at the Olympics with having to perform, because if I didn't, then I was going to be going for bronze medal versus gold medal. With the Elks, a lot of the players, sometimes it's either one of two sides. They're either playing to win or they're playing not to lose. And different athletes are going to get fired up. Number one, you have no choice but to go through it. You're in the pressure cooker. So what are you going to do? Are you going to embrace it? There isn't a balance. I've never seen that, but it just comes down to, so Jason, what are you going to do today? Are you going to level up? Are you going to dig? Do you have to reset? What do you have to do to get into the zone? And really, it's coming back to those basics. Are you playing to win, or are you playing not to lose? And there's always a difference when you play to win. Is you will figure out a way. You will probably be put into a situation maybe you haven't been in lately or ever been a part of, and you will figure out a way to come out the other end in a great way.
When you competed, did you know the difference when you were racing not to lose compared to racing to win? Was it noticeable?
Absolutely. It is this sensation that takes over your whole body. It takes your mind and it shakes you up like a good blender. And it's just, what the heck are you going to do? The first time it hit, Jason, I had no idea what was going on. And then I started to realize that, you know what? It was all about my preparation. Did I prepare for this event, or did I prepare, or did I not? And that sensation would come over when I did not prepare. And I think we've talked about it before. You can prepare too much, But then sometimes you kind of coast and you go, oh, I got this. This is going to be easy. And it's never going to be easy. It's that false expectation. And you know it when you're in it. And the hardest thing to do is to flip the switch and get out of it, because it truly is a feeling, and you can just stay in it and be done. And then it's like, why did I stay here? Why didn't I call somebody to give you the boost, or go and do something physical? So you start moving the body, get the adrenaline going, put on the music, or whatever it is that you need to move you to that next level. And I hated it when it comes on, and I, believe it or not, I still get that feeling and that same nervousness when I'm going to teach a workshop, when I'm going to do an event, even just to participate and be part of the event. And if I'm going to deliver a keynote, you know when you're on and you know when you're not on.
Yeah, no, that's totally valid. Lorianne, we appreciate this. Have yourself an awesome weekend. Are you a turkey maker for Thanksgiving? What happens?
No, I don't cook the turkey, but I do the desserts. I make a mean apple crisp. I've been putting some, those little apple cherries into it. So there's a couple versions that I will make. It's my grandma's recipe, and it is amazing. So I'm a drumstick person, always going for one of the legs. And yeah. Oh, of course, yes. And there has to be the chaser of cranberries. I love cranberries. Oh my gosh. That just is the make or break it deal.
Okay. What about, are you a pumpkin pie fan?
I am, but when you bring Apple Betty in, or Apple Crisp, it's the Apple Crisp trumps it every time.
All right. I like a good Apple Crisp. All right. What do you, now do you make like homemade topping of your own Apple Crisp?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's 3 simple ingredients. The key is the butter at room temperature. And you have to make it, when it's all put together, it's got to be like sand. Like it's got to just be all granular. If you got chunks, still keep going, keep working it.
All right. No chunks. All right. Well, we look forward to trying this sometime in the future. So that'll be fantastic. I'm a big
Okay, that sounds good. I'll definitely bring some in.
All right. We love it. Thanks, Lorianne. Have a great week.
Have a good weekend too. Happy Thanksgiving.
There you go. That's Lorianne Munzer joins us every Friday. Big fan of the apple crisp. I can get behind a good apple crisp. So, Cons, do you have a go-to dessert on holidays? Like Christmas doesn't really have like I know some people have Christmas pudding. I've never been a fan of Christmas pudding, to be honest. But like a lot of people like pumpkin pie. Some people don't like pumpkin pie because they don't have taste buds, evidently. But do you have a go-to dessert at a certain holiday of the year?
Yeah. I mean, I think for Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's got to be pumpkin pie. I'll double down. I think pumpkin pie is fantastic.
Do you have pumpkin pie at Christmas?
Yeah, really? I think so.
Oof. All right.
I don't believe
I wouldn't discount it. I love pumpkin pie. Like if somebody brought a pumpkin pie at Christmas, I'd be like, sign me up. I've just never had it there.
I think we do. I mean, I guess we don't have one that stands out above the rest, so I think it would be pumpkin pie. But yeah, for Thanksgiving.
What about like a birthday cake? As a kid, like did your mom have a go-to birthday cake that you always wanted?
Not really.
Really?
Dairy Queen. Ice cream cake, yeah.
Oh man.
That's what I was. What did you have?
Oh, we had probably from the age of 11, I made every birthday cake for our family.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I had a go-to chocolate cake recipe that was unreal, super easy to make. But I also liked angel food cake. Oh, yeah. Homemade angel food cake was even chiffon cake was quite good. But when I was a kid, my mom used to make like the white cake, but it was in the shape of animals. Like I still remember, man, I had an elephant cake when I was 6 years old. It's like the greatest cake I've ever had. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler, so I could never do it. And I'm sure she had some sort of, I don't know, like back then, I don't think they would have had because nowadays you can have like the you can get a design and then pour the batter into it, right? And it shapes it like that.
We had those.
Yeah. Well, I had an elephant one, and I don't think my mom had a design. She just like made a cake and then cut it out and somehow made it into the elephant. I still remember, man. It was unreal. It was my favorite cake of all time. So
people that can do that kind of stuff are amazing,
dude. Like I think it's for birthday cakes afterwards. Like for the first, I don't know how old I was when she stopped making shapes, but I vividly remember the elephant one. I had a few other ones, hippopotamus, a duck, which is nice, but the elephant one was my fave.
I remember the shaped like pans, and you would rent them. Yeah, like that was a big thing. We got to go pick out the design,
Yeah.
but the icing, that's what stands out.
Well, that
to
homemade
me.
icing, man,
The
too.
icing.
On my on the chocolate cake, homemade icing, money. It's the best. So, just like on pumpkin pie, having grown up on the farm, and you have whipped cream like fresh from because our neighbors had they had dairy cows, and you would get the fresh whipped cream. Oh my god! Like it's anybody who's had like the whipped cream out of a box. Like I'm sorry, yeah, it's okay, but that's like the ECHL of whipped creams. Yeah, it's good. You know, it's still above 95% of things, but it ain't the NHL of whipped cream. I'll tell you that. And fresh, anybody out there who's a farmer will tell you, fresh whipped cream right from the cow. Oh my God, it's unreal. So good. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. They've got you covered with 0% financing for 6 months if you're looking for some tires right now, or 12 easy equal payments. Again, no interest, because road ready should also mean wallet ready. They'll help you out. FountainTire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Off night in the NHL. The Oilers back in action tomorrow, taking on the Canucks down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. You got one game in the majors. Tigers at Mariners at 6. Winner of this one gets the Jays on Sunday. CFL Week 19 kicks off with the Riders and Argos meeting at 5. Elks in action taking on Winnipeg. Must win down at Commonwealth. That starts at 5 o'clock. In junior hockey, the Oil Kings are off today, but we'll host the Moose Jaw tomorrow at 2 o'clock. BCHL. You got the Crusaders and Saints meeting at the Thompson Family Arena. That gets going at 7. 2 games in the AHA with the GP hosting Olds and Cameras and Drumheller. Golden Bears meeting the McEwen and Griffins at Player Drake at 7. Pandas also taking on the Griffins at the DCA. That one also gets going at 7 o'clock. CJFL over the weekend. Wildcats in Regina, while the Huskies will host Winnipeg. Both games go Sunday. WNBA Finals tonight, Game 4. The Aces can complete this week when they take on the Mercury at 6. And college football south of the border. Number 24, South Florida meeting undefeated North Texas. You got Washington up against Rutgers, and Fresno State in Fort Collins taking on the Rams. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Wanye Gretz of Oilers Nation. We'll discuss the Canucks with the voice of the team, Brendan Batchelor, and we'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
You've probably heard the term supply and demand. Something is needed and someone supplies it. We're GS Construction, and we're in the supply and demand business with you. Edmonton and the surrounding area continue to grow. Infrastructure has to be continually replaced and upgraded to keep up with demand. You see it with new buildings and new roads, but what about below ground, where all sorts of pipes bring you water and take wastewater away? That's where we come in. For more on what we do, go to gsconstruction.ca.
Edmonton Elks Campus Clash is back, presented by Innova. October 11th versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, featuring $18 student tickets, food and drink specials, after party at O'Byrne's Ice District, and you could win a trip to Cancun. Tickets at goelks.com.
Oodle Noodle origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
An electrical solar team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado,
There's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved equipment auctions are next Friday at 9 a.m., featuring a large selection of surplus municipal graders plus backhoes, dozers, wheel loaders, man lifts, skid steers, telehandlers, plus commercial trailers and more. Info at maauctions.com.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank, plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products. 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved industrial auctions are next Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large selection of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
I've got a few of you sending in your favorite cakes. You might have to send in the whole recipe. I love baking cakes. Welcome back to the Gregor Show, Positive Friday edition here on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Use the promo code Gregor50. Use Gregor50, make a $50 deposit, and they'll match it. Boom, 2 for 1. Pretty good at PlayAlberta.ca. Hey, fellas, my wife makes a chocolate double layer cake with whipped cream and cherry pie filling whipped together for icing between the 2 layers and on top, then grates a mint Aero bar on top. It's delicious. Sounds pretty good, Iron. You can get on top of that. Like, there is something about in your family, if your mom has a cake she always made, you come home or your dad, and it's just like, it's hard to describe it. It's automatically you feel comfortable. It's like, I hear the term comfort food, and sometimes that's, maybe we abuse it. But in this case, when you come home and it's a weekend or a long weekend and some sort of, Thanksgiving, whatever, May long weekend, whatever it is, you get together, family, Christmas, of course. And there's always like a staple. Even maybe depending on how old you are, you come home for dinner, you're 26 and it's your birthday. Your mom makes your birthday cake. It's just different, right? Like, yeah, you can get a store-bought one and that's great, but it's not the same. And you got a lot of people text in, hey guys, I had a He-Man cake when I was 5. It was my royal birthday. Was in kindergarten. Still remember the top of the cake vividly. Klaus from Beaumont. See? Think about that. 5 years old. You remember it. I still remember my elephant cake, man. It was unreal. So the icing it wasn't gray. It was almost like blue. So it looked even better. God, it was so good.
Connor out here renting pans.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that economy.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a baking supply store, and you would just go in and you'd pick out the pan, and it was like they had a whole catalog. Like, so for a kid, yeah, you pick the shape and take it home for a week.
Yeah, you've never made Wanye Jr. like a special cake yet? Come on, Dad.
I didn't know about these shapes. This is the rental economy. It's the sharing.
You go get the cake, or so if his favorite animals, whatever, usually they'll have certain molds that you can use, right? You got to make the batter, but then you pour the batter in, and it molds to that shape.
Well, I'll tell you, his 5th birthday, which just went down, Krispy Kreme, 2 donuts per kid. That's how we were doing it.
2 donuts.
2 donuts per kid.
Parents were probably cursing you when you came home for the birthday party. The kid's just wired.
All the little kids came over. He said, you can have 2. And their eyes just went huge.
Krispy Kreme. I'll be honest, I've never had a Krispy Kreme donut.
It's elite.
Really?
Yeah, and they make them in this giant machine when you walk in. And I've been to ones in other cities where they just give you a free donut while you're waiting. They're so confident you'll order more.
Really?
Haven't seen that here yet, but I only went once.
Great menu as well. Like outside when you drive through, you got the donut with the picture as well.
We eat with our eyes, Connor.
Makes it good to order.
Really?
You should swing by.
I'm kind of curious now. What's their favorite go-to donut there?
Well, they have the original.
Oh, what's that?
Just glazed.
Oh, okay. You're a glazed guy?
One time I went to Vegas Krispy Kreme and it was so good. I put one in my luggage to bring home. And when I got home, it deflated like a CD. And I still ate it. And it was good. That was an original.
They allowed you to bring it on?
I checked it in my luggage.
Oh, yeah, but even then, sometimes they scan the luggage for certain.
I don't think they're taking donuts out.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Not since 9/11.
Never brought food across, so I wouldn't know. It's the Jason Gregor Show. That's Wanye Gretz joining us. The Oilers, of course, Roslovic is not going to play tomorrow. He's going to practice today. He did, and then he'll practice again Sunday. And you'll likely see him make his debut on the road when the Oilers head out for a 5-game road trip that has them going to New York, New Jersey, Detroit, and Ottawa. So you'll likely see him there. Jake Wallman was placed on IR, but he'll be available to play as early as Tuesday. If he's healthy, he did skate today, so that's a good sign. He's actually getting closer to playing. Darnell Nurse wasn't on the ice today. He's sick, but Knobloch specifically pointed out that he expects him to play tomorrow. Didn't think there'll be some lineup changes. There might be a goalie change tomorrow. Yeah, I think you might see Calvin Pickard in the pipes tomorrow. But like Roslovic, we'll see where he fits in. I had lots of people because I had put out a scouting report online, and then I had lots of other guys, and I'll read this other one from one of my scouting buddies. Just basically said he did a lot of his games with the Rangers in Carolina over a couple of years. He's highly skilled, will wander in and out of the game from time to time. He can create something out of nothing, but there are often times where you don't see him. I think he'll do pretty well if he gets an opportunity with the big boys. He just doesn't have the extra gear to stick his nose inside the play often enough.
Can I ask a selfish question?
Sure.
Is he going to push the Iceman out of the lineup?
Well, he's a righty. Howard's a lefty. So, and even it was interesting listening to Chris Knobloch today. Knobloch mentioned how Hyman can play left wing, even though he's a right shot, but he's played left wing lots. So, maybe when he comes back, he might be on the left side. So we'll see. You got to remember, if you look at the Oilers lineup right now, there's 12 forwards in the lineup. They've got Roslovic, who's not in the lineup. You got Hyman. Now, he can't come back until November 1st. So that's still 3 weeks away, right? They've got 11 games in that time. You've got Matthias Janmark, who I know, Janmark didn't have a great preseason by any stretch of imagination and, only scored 2 goals last year in the regular season. So I can see some people saying, hey, maybe his time's up. And maybe it is. I don't know. And plus Curtis Lazar. So they got 4 guys. Now, Lazar obviously right now looks to be the extra. But when Roslovic and the numbers come back in, yeah, there's going to be lots of guys here. They're going to have some tough decisions because some guys are going to have to either get traded or go to the minors.
Specifically the Iceman, what do you predict will happen regarding his iciness?
Well, I guess it depends how he played. I thought his first game was like he definitely didn't look out of place.
I thought right at the end of the game, he had the opportunity, the right-hand side of the net. Those are going to start to go in when the nerves come down.
Well, and that always helps, right? Like, and that's the harsh reality, though, is the look and say, okay, here we have it. And then you have to look at how certain guys play. Now, he's not a penalty killer. So now Roslovic isn't a penalty killer either. So they're kind of similar, lefty to a righty, because I look at guys who, like, if we just eliminate, okay, McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent-Hopkins, Frederick, they're not coming on the lineup, right? So there's 4 guys. They definitely are not coming on the lineup. I don't think Podkolzin, for his role, is coming out of the lineup, right? So I would say that's 5. Mangiapane, 6. I don't think it's coming out of the lineup. So I think there's 6 spots that I would say, okay, I think those guys are locked in different spots, third liners, second liners, first liners, but then there's 6 for sure. After that, then you've got Savoy, Howard, Kapanen, Philp, Henrique, and actually right now, I would say I don't think David Tomasic is coming out right yet.
Because they want to see what they got.
And he played really well in the first game, right? Like I really like how he creates space with his body, right? Like not everybody has to be a burner. I don't care. Like Corey Perry wasn't a burner who gives 2 squirts. Not everybody has to be the fastest skater, but he moves well enough. But I just looked at how he creates space for himself. I'm like, hey, I think this guy, he can bring you a different element. He's also 6'2", 6'2" and 210 pounds. They don't have a lot of big forwards. So I would say, yeah, there's 7. So I think there's 5 spots that can kind of rotate around. Now, then you look at Matt Savoy. I think probably a pretty good chance he's in, right? I like Kapanen, but doesn't mean the coach likes him as much as I do. I like Kapanen's size. I like his speed, everything. So there's probably like 3 or 4 guys, and I think Howard will be in that mix of, depending on how you're playing here over the next few weeks, what happens.
The highlight of the opening night for me was his pregame interview with Oilers TV, and he went like this right to start his interview and like combed his hair like a 90s heartthrob, and his hair fell perfectly. This kid has some sort of charisma, Gregor, we haven't seen in quite a lot of time. The camera loves him, as we say in the industry.
Yeah, they might, but that's irrelevant to me. I don't care about that. I want a guy who's going to score and produce.
Do you want a hero?
Well, they've got McDavid and Draisaitl. So if people are looking for heroes on the Oilers don't need heroes.
We need new heroes.
The Oilers, no, they don't. They need guys who produce 5-on-5 and bring an element of play. And maybe he will, but that's just the truth here. Like, they don't need, they could use a finisher. I will say that. They could use a finisher. And that's why I think they're going to give him some run rate here to see what he does. But ultimately, he's a young player, and you have to look at it just simply from finances and simply from the fact that he can go to the minors and he doesn't require waivers, right? Like, the Oilers, having depth is nice, but once you have it, you don't just say, well, let's just send everybody on waivers, and if another team claims them, great. Well, if you lose 1 or 2 guys on waivers, now suddenly your depth has been diminished quite a bit.
How many games can he play before he burns a year of his ELC?
Oh, no, he's in his ELC. He's a pro player.
Oh,
yeah. So he's on a 2-way contract.
Yeah,
that's what he is. He's on a 2-way contract, but no, he's 1 year. The only guys are like 18 and 19-year-olds that's for. And the Oilers obviously don't have any teenagers. That would be a great trivia question. When do you think the next year the Oilers have a teenager in their roster? I was going to say it's a long time. I'll say that. I don't think you're going to see any 18 and 19-year-olds in Edmonton anytime soon.
We do need heroes, though. It's the start of the year, new timelines. Ever since the Reed Schaefer debacle,
I thought you guys call it the answer. Not a hero.
Preseason's the answer.
Oh, okay. All right.
But we do need heroes. We need new storylines with new underdogs, new men of ice.
I don't know. I guess so. I don't really care about that, but you do. Everybody has different assessments.
The internet's buzzing. It's not just me. There's a whole movement online of Icemen.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't seen it at all. But then again, I don't follow. Connor, have you seen this? Or is this Wanye making it up in his, like maybe in your little world, but I don't see it anywhere.
Well, I'm Oilers Nation on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I don't even speak as myself.
Sure. Cons, have you seen any reference to Iceman? Like, I haven't.
Only in some circles, and that's the Oilers Nation circle.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, we're trying to build heroes.
It's like an inside joke thing is what it is.
Just me and the Iceman.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you and one guy. So that's okay.
I'm his first fan. I don't care. I'm leading the movement. If you're down with it, text in Iceman.
Hey guys, Wanye's mixing it up. We don't need heroes, but we do need lovable underdogs with fun personalities to meme. Some silly icons like Ryan Jones, something the average guy can relate to.
Yes. Call it what you want. The underdog hero.
Oh, yeah. Well, wouldn't that be like, so if I look, well, Tomasic would be that guy. He's a 29-year-old rookie in the NHL. Wouldn't that be the guy?
If I wasn't spoken for by the Iceman, I might consider it.
What about Alec Regula? 18 months coming off an injury. No one thought he was going to make the roster. Now here he is playing 15 minutes a night so far.
Did he wear a turtleneck on draft day and declare himself the best looking man in the world?
I actually saw the one thing I laughed at. They asked the order of veterans to rate Ike Howard's suit on the draft because he had the Miami Vice white suit. And, there's a few guys who really liked it. Obviously, Draisaitl didn't like it. But Trent Frederick was hilarious. He's like, first of all, I think you guys are doing him really dirty by doing this. But second of all, do I have to be honest? That's terrible.
Jake Wallman, too, wasn't impressed. Gave it a 0 out of 10.
0. I think Draisaitl gave it a 0.5.
But
then other guys gave it like an 8 or 9.
Why they didn't have him rebuttal?
Well, that would actually be fun.
Right?
Yes, that would be.
Maybe it's a two-parter.
To me, it wasn't just the suit. I thought it was the fact he had the big chain. I was just like, is this like the Rock 1980s? What's going on here? Because that's how guys used to wear. They'd rock the mock turtleneck with the blazer and then the big chain around it. Oh, it's classic. Like, I'll tell you right now, like Strutty probably would still rock that if he could. He just doesn't have a chain that he can, that's, classy enough. But he loves the mock neck. Right? He loves it. Did you see that? Someone asked him to sign his jersey.
I saw that.
Yeah. And, it was the highlight of Strutty's decade, I think.
Shona looked pumped too.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, she probably wasn't pumped because now she'll have to never hear the end of it. Like Strutty's, if you could put someone else's tweet as your pin tweet, that would be his pin tweet. That's what it would be for sure. So, hey guys, I'm with it. I'd love it. Underdog, unexpected guy. Who do you think is the best candidate? I'm going to say Noah Philp. All right, local Alberta guy from Canmore.
What's his nickname?
Well, I don't know. Give him one.
Well, the Iceman has a nickname that his dad gave him when he was a little kid.
Okay.
Because he would never leave the ice. That's why he's called the Iceman.
Really? All
And
right.
the junior kids found out about it and resurrected it years later.
I don't know if a guy like, I'd have to ask Noah Philp if he hasn't, like, do they call him Philper?
Filthy, come on.
Come on.
Yeah, well, I said Philper.
Filthy.
Philpy, yeah.
Philps.
Philps, yeah. Like, I'll have to ask him if he has a better one. Because I agree, like there's like those type of nicknames are pretty lame. You need better ones for sure.
Someone tweeted at me, would you like Reed Schaefer to autograph your new Ike Howard jersey, Wanye? Because they understand the joke that you get excited too early about a player and then have your heart broken.
It's true. That would be funny, actually.
I am going to get an Ike Howard jersey. You can count on that.
Really? All right.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Not that new one, though.
Yeah.
The new design.
You don't like that new color design?
I saw a kid in the mall wearing it.
I need to see it on the ice. I'm curious. Like I don't like that cream. Is it? Would we call that cream? Would we call it like almost taupe? I think it might be taupe.
It's off-white for sure.
Yeah. It's not a great color personally, but I got to see it on ice because some ones like, did you see that new Penguins one? Oh my God, it's way too yellow. They got yellow and then they got the 3 stripes on the arm. It looks like a bumblebee on the sleeve. I don't mind bright colors, but that one's almost too yellow for me. If they would have had thick armbands on each side, breaking it up, I think it might have looked better. But and they had the yellow helmet, and I love like the orange of the Ducks. That was sick. I love that bright orange color that they have, the neon orange with the jersey and the helmet. I like the Kings.
I was going to ask.
Helmets.
Did you like the helmet?
It's kind of like Tron. Yeah, I'm all over it. Even Vegas, like the Vegas gold helmets, shiny. I love it. So I think if they would have went with more of a bright yellow, it would have worked. But they just kind of went with just like a yellow helmet. It wasn't like the fluorescent.
I got to see Connor
Neon,
wearing the
I should
new.
say not fluorescent.
Connor in the new jersey, then I'll decide. Because I never like it until I see Connor wearing it, and then I got all excited. I didn't ever like the orange. It's kind of a washed out orange that they wore. Remember that? When the new arena opened up, that era of jersey? I was never a big fan of that.
See, I didn't mind the orange jersey. That's the one jersey I like better than some of the other ones they've had.
Like the final ceremony at Rexall Place era orange. Remember that?
Yeah, well, no, when they opened up the new arena the first year, that orange?
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome.
No.
Man,
I have one. I have a Gretzky one, and I wear it around. I feel like I've washed it 1,000 times, but it came that shade.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Quick break. We'll return. We will talk about the Canucks. They are in town tomorrow night. A little local story. Quite a thrill for a young local Stuart Parkian who's going to play his second NHL game right in Edmonton, where he probably went to a lot of games. So we'll get to that. Are we going to see Demko? Who are we going to see in goal? That and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregorpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on Made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
It's an action-packed long weekend of Oil Kings hockey at Rogers Place, starting Saturday afternoon against the Moose Jaw Warriors.
Then it's a Thanksgiving Monday matchup with the Lethbridge Hurricanes.
Bring boxes of mac and cheese to use as noisemakers, then donate to Edmonton's food bank after the game.
And at every home game, score Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is king-sized.
Edmonton, Moose Jaw, Saturday at 2 p.m.
Oil Kings, Hurricanes. Special holiday Monday noon puck drop.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 a seat at oilkings.ca.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about! Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
At the Nissan All-In Clearout, there's nothing more chill than financing an award-winning Nissan for just 0%. Enjoy the soothing relaxation of zero stress, zero worries, zero indecision.
During the Nissan All-In Clearout, get 0% financing plus up to $500 bonus on some of our best-selling models. You have zero reasons to wait. Conditions apply. See your local Nissan dealer today.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Wow, get ready for a Sally hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on. Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Sports 1440 as well. You can follow us along. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Numbers keep going up. We love it. You can, if you miss any parts of the show, certain interviews, we got shorts there and everything else. So check it out at Sports 1440 YouTube page. Also there, if you want to, because we got a text still coming in. Greg's work, we can get those t-shirts. 780. That's 7 the word 80. A little bit of a play on the area code, so very easy.
And we'll post some links on social.
Oh yeah, we've already posted. Yes, we've got them up there. Some pictures. Although I don't think we have a picture yet of Cons and I have a different one than I have like the 6th one that we're unveiling. We have 6 different ones. So yeah, we'll put that up later today as well. Now let's go around the NHL. Brought to you by McDonald's, and the double play is back at McDonald's. For Monopoly, peel on the pack, then peel in the app for an extra chance to win. Get ready to peel like a winner. Only at McDonald's till November 10th. Now, I'm not sure if that last line was written by Gene Principe or not, but he really would like it. He really would like it. Get ready to peel like a winner. Hey, Gene? Oh, Gene's wearing sweatpants right now. Super excited about that. Oilers and the Canucks going at it tomorrow night. Vancouver, a 5-1 victory over Calgary last night. Brendan Batchelor joins us to talk a little Canucks. Brendan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm excellent. Let's start with the fun story here in Edmonton. You got the 18-year-old. I think it's a fun story in Vancouver because no one really thought that their first-round draft pick in 2025 was going to be cracking the lineup to start camp. But here he is, and he played a game, and his coach already said he's coming to Edmonton, so he's going to play in his hometown tomorrow night. What has surprised you most about him, and do you think he'll last past the 10-game mark?
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting question. Braden Coots has been tremendous throughout training camp, and he's fully deserving of this opportunity to break camp with the team, and played in his first NHL game last night against the Flames. I've been most impressed with his maturity, both on and off the ice. His teammates rave about his hockey IQ, and even we were talking to Brock Besser the other day. He said that when he was 18, he was nervous going to North Dakota, let alone going to play in the NHL, playing in the NCAA at that point in his career. So, his teammates are impressed with his ability to adapt to that level and ultimately to play in the NHL. And just from talking to him a lot, he's a really mature kid. You can understand why he was named the captain of the Seattle Thunderbirds at such a young age in the WHL. Doesn't seem overawed by the moment or the spotlight or any of the media attention or anything like that. And, he's been good through the preseason. He didn't get a ton of ice time last night, only played about 11 minutes. There were a bunch of power plays for both teams in the game that kind of took him out of the regular rotation. But this is a player they're very high on. Anybody expected him to be in the opening night lineup when they drafted him in the middle of the first round this past summer, but he's come in and earned it on merit. This is not the organization just putting a young kid in the lineup to try and find a feel-good story. He's deserving of that opportunity, and I know he'll have a lot of friends and family in attendance tomorrow night when he faces the Oilers at Rogers Place.
Oh yeah, it'll be massive thrill for his family. Also, I'm sure lots of his buddies and friends. It's Saturday night. It's like the ideal, second NHL game. He's playing the Flames his first one and the Oilers his second one. Like you couldn't script a better start for a young kid to be over the moon, I would think, with excitement to play in those games. The Canucks, there's lots of talk. They need a second line center. I know it's only one game, but Philip Hedl kind of quieted that last night. 2 goals, 5 shots, played just over 16 minutes. I didn't watch the entire game. You obviously did by calling it, but he looked pretty good last night.
Yeah, and he brings a profile that the Canucks don't really have in their forward group, which is a real speedster that transports the puck through the neutral zone and can be dynamic in that regard. And he was really good last night. The questions for Hedl are going to be about consistency in terms of whether he could give that level of performance on a night-to-night basis. And obviously he's not going to score 2 goals every night. But if he can be involved in the offense and involved in help creating and transitioning the puck for this team, that's going to be important for them. And then there are always questions about his health with the numerous concussions that he's had. So, this is a big opportunity for him to be the second line center on this team. There's no more JT Miller. There's no more Bo Horvat. So, he is that guy, that number 2 centerman. And, his best ability, I think, is going to be availability going forward, which is if he can stay healthy and be an every night contributor for this team, then he's a really good piece for them and someone that'll help not just at even strength. He's on the second power play unit, certainly has potential to moonlight on that top power play unit if they need him to do that as well. And, showed kind of the peak of what he can be as a player for them last night. So they'll hope that continues. He's playing on a line with Connor Garland and Arshdeep Bains at the moment, and they had a really good night as a line, I thought, as well. So, the center ice depth was something that was a talking point in Vancouver all off season. If Hedl can be healthy and consistent, and if Coots sticks around for, longer than the 9 or 10 games, which I never got to that part of my answer in your first question, they just keep saying it's going to be day to day with the 18-year-old Braden Coots. So they're not committing to anything beyond he's going to play tomorrow against the Oilers. So ultimately his performance is going to dictate whether he stays or whether he ends up going back to junior. And ultimately, if he plays a little bit and then goes back and gets to go to the World Juniors, that might be the best pathway for him. But that said, if he proves on a night-to-night basis that he can get the job done, then he'll stay. So, with the center ice depth being such a big question for this team in the offseason, if Philip Hedl can be consistent and Braden Coots ends up being found money as a third line center, then those will answer a lot of the questions that people had about this team and their depth down the middle.
Brendan Batchelor joins us. I was looking at the time on ice in the game last night, and Elias Pettersson only played 15:39. It didn't take a penalty. I looked and he was like 8th or 9th in even strength time on ice last night. What did you make of that? Was it just an oddity? Like, did he miss a shift at some point due to injury or equipment? Or, like, is 15:39 for your number one center is a pretty low number.
Yeah, he missed some time.
Okay.
He took a big hit for Mackenzie Weegar and went to the room and missed a few shifts and had to come back. So that's why Elias Pettersson wouldn't have hit the numbers he normally would hit. I expect him to be more in the 18, 19-minute range. That's what he's averaged generally for this team. Even when he was struggling last year, he was still their minutes leader as a forward and was playing north of 18 minutes a night. So, it was a bit of a scary moment, actually, where Weegar hit him pretty hard into the boards. It was a questionable hit that the officials initially called as a major penalty and then reviewed it and reduced it to a boarding minor. And Pettersson missed a few shifts, but was able to come back in the game and ended up assisting on Brock Besser's goal in the third period. So, the microscope's going to be right on Elias Pettersson, as you rightly point out, because they need him to have a bounce back year. He is the bona fide number one center on this team without a doubt. And, he's looked pretty good through preseason and training camp. It wasn't a dominant performance from him and his line last night, but they were good enough to help the team get the job done. And for me, when I look at Elias Pettersson, points are going to be great, and they're going to need him to produce to a certain level as a number one center. There's no question about it. But I think winning his matchup and driving play is going to be the more important thing for him and his line mates, Jake DeBrusk and Brock Besser. And if they can do that more often than not, then they'll give this team a chance to win. And that's the bar that I'm measuring them against early in the season. And it's going to be a pretty high bar tomorrow night, especially depending on the matchup that Chris Knobloch wants to try and throw out against them. They might see a lot of McDavid and Draisaitl. It'll be interesting to see.
Mr. Demko back for Vancouver, and he's probably like, hey, this is like a really good, easy start. He only faced 18 shots last night. The Flames playing second half of a back-to-back early in the year, so I don't know if fatigue was a factor at all or not. I don't think they're that gifted offensively to begin with. So obviously the Canucks would like, I think, their defensive game when you're only giving up 18 chances. But how has Demko looked? Because I actually picked Vancouver to get back in the playoffs this year, simply because I think if Demko is healthy, he can make that much of a difference.
Yeah, I thought he was really good last night. He looked like mid-season form peak Thatcher Demko, which, may not be the case on a night-to-night basis here early in the year as he works back into being a more consistent player in the NHL and playing regularly after all the injury issues he's been through over the last couple of years. But he looked great, and that's a tremendous thing for the Canucks to have. You're right in saying the Flames didn't generate a ton in terms of high-quality chances. He had to make a few good saves, but it wasn't a busy night for him. So, a good confidence-boosting performance for him and for the team, I think, to start the year, because when you have a goaltender that you have a lot of trust in behind you, you can play more freely and take more risks and take more chances to try and make plays. And then on top of that, they've got Kevin Lankinen as a 1B who, performed really well, essentially having to be the starting goaltender last year, set career highs for games played and wins and shutouts and those sorts of things. So especially because the schedule is going to be so compressed this year with the Olympic break, and the Canucks even this month, I think they've got 2 different times they play 3 games in 4 nights, and one of those they're on the road and one of them is a day game, so it's more like 3 games in 3.5 days. Having 2 goaltenders that you trust that can go in and get the job done is going to be important for them. But, if Demko could play like he did last night on a consistent basis, he's for sure going to be the 1A and be the guy they go to more often than not.
When you look at their blue line, we know that Quinn Hughes, he played 25 minutes last night. He's obviously the guy that logs the most minutes on that team. He's going to log some of the most minutes in the entire National Hockey League. And, I think it's kind of ridiculous that, people are worried about a guy leaving 2 years before his contract's up, but that's sadly the state. People were worried about McDavid now because he's got 3 years left. Like, give me a break. But anyway, looking at Hughes, I do understand the importance to just kind of have some calm and stability in the organization. How do you think important? Obviously, you can't guarantee wins or losses, but you can guarantee to limit the noise. Has the noise turned down a lot in Vancouver?
Yeah, It really has this year. And, part of that is, they traded JT Miller last year. So all of the noise around him and Elias Pettersson and their rift has, gone by the wayside. And for the most part, there are a couple of changes. Obviously, they brought in Evander Kane, and young guys like Braden Coots and Jonathan Lekermacki have cracked the roster. But for the core pieces of this team, it's the same guys that finished last year. And they really all have a chip on their shoulder to prove that they can be more than what they showed last year, to prove that they are a better team than the results ultimately with the 90 points and missing the playoffs and all of the dysfunction and the storylines and the drama that really characterized the team last year is something they can put behind them. And, we've been talking about it a lot here in Vancouver. The vibes around this team have been really good through preseason, where they all seem on the same page. They've all bought into the message of new head coach Adam Foote, with Rick Tocchet leaving in the offseason as well. And it does seem a lot quieter. It does seem a lot calmer. Now, ultimately, they haven't lost a game yet. So, when they hit a rough patch or lose a couple games in a row, that's when those things are tested. When you face adversity, how do you manage that adversity and move through it? But, more often than not over the last few years, the Canucks have been one of the biggest storyline teams around the NHL for all the wrong reasons. But I think we saw a perfect example of how that can flip 2 years ago when they won the division and lost to the Oilers in Game 7 of the second round. Was take care of your job on the ice, win games, be in the conversation for a playoff spot at the very least, if not doing better than that potentially. And if you're winning and performing well, people are more than content to talk about what's happening on the ice as opposed to what's happening off it. It's when you struggle and you get into, a situation where you're having to chase to try and make the playoffs because you have a bad start to the year and, guys get after each other. That's when the drama has unfolded. That's when this team has made headlines for the wrong reasons. So for them to start off the season on the right foot with a win, albeit in the situation that you mentioned, the Flames coming in on the second half of a back-to-back, starting Dustin Wolf on back-to-back nights, which I think is a really interesting storyline around the Flames, that they don't trust their backup goaltending as far as they can throw it. But, ultimately, if this team performs on the ice, then the off-ice storylines won't be at the forefront, and that's what this group needs to focus on. And they do seem very focused on making sure that they have a bounce-back year.
Well, who do you see as the line with McDavid and Draisaitl? Now, I know they're on the road, so who do you see as the main line they'd like to get out against them, and then the secondary line?
So I think they probably like the Elias Pettersson line to match up head-to-head with McDavid. If the game was being played in Vancouver, that's the matchup I would look at with Jake DeBrusk and Brock Besser. They have a shutdown line right now, or a line that could play some of those minutes with Drew O'Connor and Kiefer Sherwood. And it would normally be Teddy Bluger in the middle, but he's a little bit banged up and out of the lineup right now. So young center Atu Ratu is centering that line. So those are the two lines I would look at. I think you probably want to free up Hedl and Garland to try and create some offense elsewhere in the lineup. And then the line with Evander Kane and the two young kids, Coots and Lekermacki, you're going to try and shelter them where you can. But honestly, I think the matchup for the Canucks that's more important against McDavid and Draisaitl is the defensive pairing. And Marcus Pettersson and Tyler Myers are going to be that shutdown pairing for Vancouver this year. And they both, have length. They're both big guys with long sticks that have good reach and have ability to break up plays and, play with a physical edge to their game too. And, I know it's the preseason, so, you don't want to read too much into it, but I thought they were pretty effective against McDavid and Draisaitl in the last preseason game in Vancouver. Now, again, because it's the preseason, I'm not going to, say that is a harbinger of things to come necessarily. But if the Canucks can get those two guys out against the top players of the Oilers more often than not, I think they'll feel better about their chances of winning the game tomorrow night.
Awesome stuff, Brendan. We appreciate it. Look forward to the game tomorrow night. Have a good one. It's where all 32 teams are in action tomorrow.
Yeah, should be fun. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You betcha. There's Brendan Batchelor, voice of the Vancouver Canucks, who were victorious 5-1 last night. We'll return. We got Wanye's World. We got 2-minute warning. We got Spec. We got Craig Button. Lots coming up here on the Friday edition of the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense. Stay within your limits. GameSense, AB.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love, better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience, but it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-471-7380 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Looking for an all-season vehicle with room for the hockey gear, comfort for the daily commute, and rugged capability for your weekend adventures? That's the all-new 2025 Jeep Compass, and you'll find it during the biggest sale of the year this month at St. Albert Dodge. Now, what can I say? It's a Jeep, it's a 4x4, and it's loaded with standard features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, keyless entry, and heated front seats, all starting from just $34,900. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Mr. Ruther meets a ghost. 1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Yeah, go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Ruther.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Ruther.
Edmonton Elks Campus Clash is back, presented by Innova. October 11th versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, featuring $18 student tickets, food and drink specials, after party at O'Byrne's Ice District, and you could win a trip to Cancun. Tickets at GoElks.com.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank. Plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products. 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
Game day sauce.
Buddy, quit rolling up to the bar looking like it's grade 9 grad and you're wearing your dad's old work suit. Do yourself a favor and call Game Day Suits.
Game Day Suits is Alberta-based and makes fully customizable, made-to-order suits. Perfect for hockey teams, wedding parties, or even the office crew. Book your free consultation at GameDaySuits.ca.
I'm rocking one right now. I look deadly.
You know they can't see you, right?
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you want to go, tough guy?
Game Day Suits.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with the Papa John's Aloha Trio. Classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Friday afternoon. Big plans for the weekend. You got the Elks, 5 o'clock tomorrow. You have the Oilers, 8 o'clock. You can do the double dip. I think we're up now to 17 of you that are doing the doubleheader tomorrow. I like it. Also, then many of you will be watching the Jays on Sunday. That game is 5:30 You can listen to it right here on Sports 1440. And then Monday's game, they've actually they've moved the times here. They moved the Maple Leafs game time so it doesn't coexist with the ALCS. I think the Leafs game has been moved on Sunday to earlier in the day.
You know, it's a big event when they move the Leafs game, hey?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like
huge.
Yeah, it's massive, right? And that's I have no issue with that, right? None.
I actually respect the Leafs for doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense to do it, right? Like, why wouldn't you do it?
It's weird when you go to a sporting event and people are watching a different sporting event. Like, I remember the World Juniors when Jordan Eberle scored with 0 point whatever left on the clock. So many people at the Oilers game were watching the World Juniors either through the boxes, people were standing up and watching, that eventually they put on the scoreboard at intermission.
Oh, God, yeah.
Going to a Leafs game and watching a Jays game makes no sense.
Well, they're diehards, right? So the game on Monday is going to be, it looks like they're moving it because they moved the Jays game to 2 p.m. Or sorry, the Maple Leafs game to 2 p.m. Eastern on Monday, which means now that game on Monday night, I think, is going to be at 5:30 Eastern. So maybe even 7:30. Double check that. But the Leafs game is moved to 2 in the afternoon to avoid any conflict. So smart. I would do the same thing. Hey, guys, curious on the Elks' chances. What has to happen for them to make the playoffs? Well, they got to win against Winnipeg, right? Because, well, I guess theoretically, if I look, let me look at Calgary. If they lose to Winnipeg, they can't catch them. Now, Calgary, they're 2 back. So I guess in theory, if Calgary loses Connor Halley, then Edmonton still isn't officially eliminated because they play Calgary in the final game of the season. So I guess they're still not officially eliminated if they lose to the Bombers, unless Calgary wins their own game. And they're so you would know that because Calgary's game starts before on Saturday. So if Calgary wins, then Edmonton has to win against Winnipeg. Otherwise, they're out. If Calgary loses, then technically they are still not eliminated because they could be, if they beat BC and then they beat Calgary and Calgary loses their final 2 games, they'd have the same record, and Edmonton would own the tiebreaker.
One time I went to a poker tournament, and the guy sitting beside me, who was like a real poker player, explained to me what chip in a chair meant. You've heard this?
Oh, yeah. As long as you got 1 chip, you're in the game.
And he got down to 1 chip, and he said to me, son, I have a chip in a chair. And then he proceeded to win the tournament. And that always stuck with me. Like, you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
That's true.
They play the games, chip in a chair.
Yeah, that's you play to win the game. That's how you do it. Now, let's get to the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. Late at night, on the weekend, you need furnace repair. They'll help you out. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town, coming up on 45 years. Cam, great inspiration, is born with cerebral palsy. It's never let him slow down, is in his wheelchair. He's been a great writer. I always wanted to get into radio, but due to the disability, couldn't until now. Now Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning. And on Fridays, he gets me to read his 2-minute warning. So Cons, cue the music. Dear Gregor, I'm thankful, achingly, deeply thankful for a lifetime stitched together by sports and kindness. For parents who handed me a scuffed baseball, a cracked orange puck, a bent plastic goal stick, and a football that never spiraled straight, but somehow carried every dream I had. I'm thankful for my dad, loved hockey enough to bundle me up, drive through the West End chill, and place a wooden stool in the snow outside Linwood Community League so I could see the ice glisten under the bright lights. I'm thankful for 5 Little League teams who'd made me an honorary bat boy, slipped me a jersey 2 sizes too big, and let me sit tall among the team. That, Gregor, was the first time gratitude felt like belonging. Jeez, Tater, you're going to make me cry reading this thing? Holy dude. I'm thankful. Thankful for the Edmonton Crusaders Junior A Hockey Club. Those gritty prairie rinks that smell of wet gear and diesel fuel from the 1952 bus that should have been retired with King George VI. The heater didn't work. The windows fogged with every exhale, and the wind pushed through the cracks like 1,000 razors. I was the team scribe, not a player, but when I won $18 in a poker game to Red Deer, the boys gave me names unfit for radio. Yeah, I'm thankful because those frozen trips taught me resilience, humor, and how to keep my pencil steady on bumpy highways. 46 years with the Edmonton Oilers later, they still hand me 2 press passes, one for my helper, one for me. A gesture that reminds me kindness endures longer than any final score. And this, sitting here warm, sharing stories with you, that's the dream come true on the radio. This weekend, I'm thankful for all those things. And more importantly, the people, trainers, equipment managers, bus drivers, Zamboni drivers, arena managers, and more. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Cam Tate, 2-minute warning. Tater, that was beautiful. I hate you for making me read that and almost cry, but that was very nice. Thank you very much for that. It's very true. It is Thanksgiving, and we should be thankful for a lot of things. And Cam is always, it's hilarious. Like, I've told many stories about Tater, but it's he's getting to know the guys. Tater comes into the station a lot now. We set him up. He's got his office because, and he asked because he was just kind of lonely being at home all the time. So he comes in to write a story and, kibitz with people. And Cam's got a really good sense of humor. And so, he walks up to some of the young guys who are just meeting him. It's like, hey, Josh. And then he looks at him and he's like, bleep you. He can get away with it. Like most other people can't do it, but he can get away with it. It's quite funny. So, he's had a lot of laughs around the studio. And, it's a good reminder. Like Cam is a great example of resiliency to, and really his parents. Like, because Cam's told me a story. They told his parents that you got to remember. Cam is, I think might be 66, Tater. I think he celebrated his 65th last year. And so that's a long time ago. So, you're talking, born in 1960, and it was just a different time in society. And, they were like, oh, you should just put him in a home. He's not going to be able to be a contributor to society. And thankfully his parents gave him the proverbial Glenn Sather after Gretzky scored the overtime winner, right? Gave him the bleep you, this one, if you're watching on YouTube. And his parents just said, yeah, okay, Cam has a disability, but that doesn't mean that we're going to give him every opportunity to do stuff. And you think about it, to be able to write now, it's a little bit easier with the laptop and stuff, but he used to have to write, with his typewriter, with a pencil, and, in his wheelchair, moving around. So Tater is a pretty good inspiration. It's very good to remind us what we're thankful for on a Thanksgiving weekend. What are you thankful for, Wanye?
Oh, lots of things. Wanye Jr. starting off.
Yeah.
You haven't lived until a 5-year-old wakes you up in the morning with a punch directly to the face. Good morning, Dad. Just socked me right in the face this morning to start the day. Okay. Super grateful for him. Super grateful for Connor's 2-year contract.
Yeah. Most Oilers fans would probably be in 100% agreeing with that.
Grateful for the Iceman. His icy leadership will eventually lead us all to a new realm. That type of thing. Connor, what are you thankful for, buddy?
Lots of things. Good one with the child, the wife, the family. Hey, grateful for Sports 1440 for giving me something to come in and do every day.
All right. Now.
Yeah, just life's good right now. And you know what? We were pumping Tater's tires there, Gregor. He did take home our charging cable.
What?
Yeah. So I'm going to need him to bring that back next time he comes in.
Holy
and I think he might have set up Declan to do it.
Oh.
Like had a fall guy just in case he got caught, had Declan loaded up for him. But he does have our cable. Tater, we need that back Tuesday.
Charging cable of what?
For phones.
Oh boy.
Oh, geez, Tater.
Oh boy.
His phone and his laptop died.
What a robot. Like, how many years have you been in this industry, Tater? What a rookie. Shows up. Laptop, no charge. Phone, no charge. Hey, Tater, here's a little hint. When you go to bed, put in the charger. Pretty simple way. Every day.
That's it.
It's pretty easy. Way to do it. So, Tate's an inspiration to lots, but clearly he's a thief. So that's not good.
Not on Thanksgiving, Gregor.
No. 833-414. Let us know, sports fans. What are you thankful for this weekend? I'd be curious. It can be humorous. It can be emotional, whatever you choose. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Coming up, Craig Button will join us. He's just thankful for pickleball. I know that for a fact. I don't even have to ask him the question about that, but maybe he's got a few other things. We'll see. Let's get to Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. They're thankful for the opportunity to continue to feed families. For every truck sold, they will feed a family of 4. Up over 300 now. Their goal is to get to 500, so they extended it into October. Shop at Northgate GMC Buick or go online at northgategm.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Off day in the NHL. Oilers back in action tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, taking on the Canucks down at Rogers Place. Now, one game in the majors tonight. Tigers, Mariners just after 6. Winner of this one gets the Jays on Sunday, a game you can hear right here on Sports 1440 radio feed only. CFL Week 19 kicks off tonight. Rough Riders Argos at 5. The Elks in action tomorrow night, taking on Winnipeg. Must-win situation down at Commonwealth Junior Hockey. The Old Kings are off today, but will host Moose Jaw tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the BCHL. Sherwood Park and Saints meeting tonight out at the Thompson Family Arena just after 7 o'clock. 2 games in the AJ this evening. GP hosting Old and Camrose in Drumheller. Golden Bears hockey taking on McEwen hockey down at the Drake at 7. And at the DCA, it's Pandas and Griffins as well. In the CJFL, you got Wildcats in Regina on Sunday. Also on Sunday, Huskies hosting Winnipeg. WNBA finals tonight. The Aces can complete the sweep. They take on the Mercury at 6. And college football south of the border. Number 24, South Florida, meeting the undefeated North Texas Mean Green. You also got the Washington Huskies taking on Rutgers, and Fresno State up against the Colorado State Rams. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions and be joined by Ask 5 questions and TSN's Craig Button. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440. Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
You'll see us digging holes. No, we're not looking for buried treasure. You'll see us digging trenches as well. And no, we're not building a fort. We're GS Construction, and you'll see us in neighborhoods throughout the Edmonton area. So what are we doing? GS Construction provides rehabilitation and upgrade services to Edmonton and surrounding communities. Some of our underground utilities have served us for years and are past their useful lives. We replace them, so they're around for years to come. Find out more at gsconstruction.ca.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think you just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
It's back. The world's best curlers are returning to this queue for the Grand Slam of Curling Go-Up Tour Challenge. Join us October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center as top teams from around the globe battle it out for glory on the pebbled ice. Enjoy world-class curling and an unforgettable fan experience, all right here in our community. The Grand Slam of Curling Co-op Tour Challenge, October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center. Don't miss it.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Hey there, this is your wake-up call.
It's time to change to your winter tires. Unless you want to be sliding and swerving around icy roads like you're some kind of dummy. Head to Big Toy Shop and get it done right for a great price. We won't lie to you, inflate your bill, or waste your time. Time to change your tires. Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. 780-298-2797.
When it comes to choosing a hair clinic, the difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. Transforming how you feel about yourself is a very personal experience, and I'll work directly with you every step of the way.
Physicians come from all over the world to learn from Dr. Elliott.
When your personal goal is to help other people achieve theirs, you must deeply understand the latest treatments.
Want to feel confident and comfortable? The difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips, we fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on. Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Connor Halley. Hope you're having an awesome day. Got big plans for the weekend. There's so much going on. I know some people, there's no games in the NHL tonight. Well, I've said this, and actually studies show that, and there's a reason why the NHL has started to have like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays as their main days. And, there's fewer games on other nights. And if you look at it, they would be better if they could get to a point where you'd never had games one day a week. I know people are like, what are you talking about? Well, they've done lots of studies on it. If people have to wait for something, they yearn for it more. It's a fact. It's been proven. And your team's not going to play. And most hockey fans, it's not like, some of you are like, oh, okay, I want to watch a highlight, whatever. Well, you'll figure it out. But if you are a true hockey fan, NCAA, CHL, U Sports, they all play Fridays. They have to play Fridays for travel reasons and everything else. And so that's what you do. Look at like the NFL. They only played on Sundays for years. Now they moved it to Monday a bit, and they have one game on Thursday because they're so big, they're trying to expand. But they never went half their games Saturday and half their games Sundays. They never did it, right? You made it like viewing. Now, there's way more games in the NHL, so I understand you can't do it. But if they got to the point where you had vast majority of Fridays off and people knew it, you'd address it, you get used to it. People don't like change, so they'll have lots of people complaining. But they've done studies on it, and when you don't give something what they want all the time, they yearn for it more. And to me, it would be a wise thing to do. And I'm not surprised that you're seeing more of that with the National Hockey League. And if you were looking for hockey and you wanted a rivalry, well, guess what? Let's get to our big guest of the day. Brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints, because big rivalry game tonight, the Saints and the Crusaders in Spruce Grove. Those games are always a little bit fiery. It's a great rivalry. Got a lot of fans come in from Sherwood Park. We're going to check out the new Thompson Family Arena. So you can check it out tonight and get your tickets at sgsaints.ca. It'd be a fantastic thing to do. So actually, we moved Butts back. He's going to be at 420 now, but doesn't change my point. I think, honestly, the NHL, having one night a week where there's no hockey, I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Can it not be Friday, the second funnest day of the week? Because like Monday, no hockey, I could live with.
Sure.
But Friday,
pick Monday. But
that's when I'm locking in.
Yeah, well, pick. I look at it there's lots of other hockey levels that have to play on Fridays, right? And because you want to play Saturday, Fridays aren't going to have that many games anyway, because you'd rather have more games on Saturday because you can have afternoon games, you can spread it out. It's better, right? So I get it. Like Saturday, Sunday still are going to give you bigger numbers. So it's, one of the Friday, one of the Mondays, it's fine. But the day of the week right now that has the fewest games in the NHL, do you know what it is?
Wednesday.
Friday. Damn. 93. And 15 of those games come on Black Friday because they have no games on Thanksgiving in the U.S. So they have no games in the NHL on Thanksgiving Thursday. Now, Canadians can play, hey, I'm not American. It's like, whatever, they don't do it. That's fine. But so that you take away that, and it's really, 78.
How do you How did you know 93 Fridays off the top of your head like that?
Well, because I went and added it all up earlier today when I was talking about it. So I went through it. Like there's 322 on Saturdays. That's the most game. That's the most games on the week. Then it's 264 on Thursdays and 232 on Tuesdays.
Don't be trading Friday night games for Saturday afternoon games. Those are my least favorite games, even though I now
Yeah,
have
but
a
Edmonton
son.
only has one or two, and it's basically so you have kids who get to go to game. Wait till your kid's older. You'll love it because he gets to go to one game a year where he's not a complete bear the next day because he's up too late. That's why they do it, and it makes sense.
We went to preseason and we left after 2 periods.
Yes. Yeah, because it was an evening game.
Yes.
Exactly. So I think it's better for the NHL long term to do that. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Guys that need Monday because of Prime TV from Brian. Well, yeah, that's, and they don't have a ton of games there either, right? I think Monday might be the second fewest games. Actually, no, it's Wednesday night. But I do believe that the NHL is trending that way. And we've seen it the last few years. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays are the most games played, right? It's kind of every second day. Now, if the NHL is going to go to the next phase that they need to do, and I believe every team should have 4 sets of games in a year where they play the same team back to back. So, and I would do it on, like Edmonton's got to do a road trip. Usually you go to Anaheim, LA, San Jose, Seattle. Why not just go there, play LA twice, Anaheim twice? You can play it in the same period of time. There's less travel. There's less wear and tear in the players. It's better, right? Maybe, and for fans, think about it. Hey, we want to do a road trip. Okay, we're going to go to LA. You play a Thursday game. Now you got Friday night in LA to do whatever you want. And then you got a Saturday night where they play the Kings again. Fun road trip, right? You're only going on one plane. You're not going from here to there to wherever. There's lots of potential opportunities that help in a lot of different ways. And remember when they did it in COVID in 2021, right? You flew somewhere and you played 2 or 3 games. It didn't turn into massive brawls, but what does happen is there's a little bit more animosity in that second game. It's just a fact. And so we're in the dog days of January, and all of a sudden the Oilers and the Kings, I'm just using them for an example, are playing 2 games in a row. Well, now there's a little bit more flair. Imagine Tampa and Florida, back-to-back games on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And maybe it's a Wednesday and a Thursday, who knows? But either way, to me, that would be fantastic. I would strongly look at it. The NHL's done it. And you can't, well, Gregor, arena availability. What are we talking about, arena availability? The Kings will have a 6-game homestand. Why can't 2 of the games be against one team? It's not hard. They got the arena anyway. The one team's already flown into their city. You can't tell me it's not possible. Of course it's possible. You can't do the whole season. I understand that because East and West, they only play each other once in each other's city. I understand it. But you could definitely do it in your division for sure. And you could even mix in one, Edmonton goes to Nashville twice a year, like every second year, right? And then they come here. Well, maybe 1 out of every 4 years, they're playing in Nashville. Bang, bang. So they only go there once.
I think you're making a lot of sense here. Approved.
Yeah. Like it does. Like it helps in travel.
Yeah.
Right. It helps if we want to worry about, being better green, which I don't think is a problem. You're not limiting anything here. Like you're taking away less road trips. It's not, to me, it's a good thing.
And the second game will have a lot more spice to it.
100% it would. Like I can tell you, I know everyone's like, yeah, but Gregor, what if it's a bad team? Well, live with it. Live with it. Hey, it's a really good idea, but 1 time out of 10, it might not be the team I like. So what?
2 beatdowns in a row, still fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And just because the team's bad doesn't mean there might not be some animosity.
That one season with the Canadian division, I was so happy just to see hockey come back. But after a little bit, it got a little old.
You're only playing 16.
Yeah,
though,
that's
right?
weird.
Yeah. So, and even then, I didn't mind it. I thought it was
better than no hockey.
Unique. Yeah, it was unique, and it was a situation that's never going to come up again. But I just look, if you go once to LA and you play the Ducks, or I don't care, go to San Jose. Heck, go to Vegas. That's a pretty big rivalry. Imagine you get to play Vegas back to back, and all of a sudden it's January, and there's maybe you're 4 points in the standings, and you're thinking, geez, we sweep these 2 games. That might be the difference in home ice advantage and finishing first. Like I know that not everybody's games are going to be great because they're all rivalries. Well, who cares? Every rivalry becomes heightened when there's more emotion in it. It just does. Right? Like 2 teams you didn't think even like that, or like, these 2 teams, they don't even know each other. Who cares?
as the season rolled on with the all Canadian division, that's what I found happened. The familiarity breeds contempt.
100%. And imagine it when you would have had fans. So now, because the energy in the building, right? Like all of a sudden there's a big hit and everybody's like, yeah, right? And it's a little bit like Thunderdome, right? Everybody's on you. It just elevates the emotion, the intensity. It's awesome. And I think the NHL having, one day a week that's one game or zero. And I guess if the schedule maker doesn't allow you to completely block out a date, fine. But doing it more often than not, I think would benefit the league. No question. So that's how I see it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We will get to Andrew Mangiapane, who's going to play his 500th NHL game tomorrow night. He's got family members in. He was joking, grandma and grandpa are in, but he goes, I'm not sure it's my 500th or to see their grandson who's 2 months old. Probably a little bit of both. Mom and dad are still pretty excited like that. He said, man, like he never got drafted in junior hockey. He didn't get drafted his first year of eligibility into the NHL draft. He said, man, I wasn't sure I was ever going to play one game in the NHL. So the fact that tomorrow night is going to be game number 500, it's a pretty big deal for him. And you know what? It's he scored a goal in his first game as an Oiler. He said automatically you feel a little bit better, right? You feel like, okay, I want to contribute, and you're not always going to score, but when you come to a new team, you want your teammates to at least say, okay, this guy's capable of it. And it was a really nice goal. Like he ripped it past Dustin Wolf. So I think he's looking to get back to being at least a 20-goal scorer this year. So we'll hear from him a little bit later on. 833-401-1440. Hey guys, Knobloch, is he the one who makes all the decisions on lineups and which guys get sent to the minors, or is it collective with his general manager? From Steve. It's a good question, Steve. The lineup mainly is the coach, and it's not always 100% the head coach. Your assistant coach will have some say, and I do think at times, there's conversations with Stan Bowman, like when the GM brings in the players, you don't ask like every game who's playing or not. But I think if all of a sudden Ike Howard was sitting out multiple games, the GM may be like, okay, what's the plan here?
Not the ice man,
right? Because he's a young player, right? If no offense, if you're sitting out like Derek Ryan last year at 38 years of age, I don't think the GM's like, hey, what's the plan? Right? You kind of think, okay, he's an older player. I get it. And to Chris Knobloch's credit, he didn't sit out guys that long in a row. Most coaches don't. You sit out a guy for 2 weeks. What do you expect him to do when he comes back in? Right? Like, I don't care if you've been in the league 1 year or 10 years. You sit out for 2 weeks and no play game. It's pretty hard to come back in and think that you're going to be able to contribute in some form or another. But lineup is mainly Knobloch. Ultimately, at the end of the day, he's the head coach. Somebody has to make the decision. He has input. When it comes to those sending down players, that's a little bit more on the GM. Like, he has input because the salary cap plays a big factor for sure. Right? Then you look at waivers. You look at rookies. How much are they playing? Would they benefit from some time? Because Howard, and Savoy to even an extent, would benefit if they're suddenly playing 9 minutes a night. Well, eventually, after a week, they say, hey, why don't we just send them down to the minors here? Let's have them play 20 minutes. Like, they're not going to be difference makers as rookies. They can be in the lineup and they can help your team, but they're not difference makers. So if you're not a difference maker, then you have to have a little bit of a long-term vision at the same time. So that's kind of how it goes, Steve. It's a good question. It's rarely just one guy doing everything. So we'll see. Hey guys, isn't there an Oil Kings game on Saturday as well? Triple threat. Well, the Oilers are at home, so unless the Oil Kings are playing at noon, then and rarely do they play the same day. It happens. Like, I think there's maybe one or twice a year where they will play. One plays in the afternoon, and they do. They play at 2:00, so it is a triple header. You can go Oil Kings at 2, Elks at 5, Oilers at 8. Now, we've had a few people doing the double headers. Anybody doing the triplet? Like, that would be a commitment. That would be a big time commitment. You could do it, right? Because the Oil Kings game's a little bit quicker, and they start right at 2. So, you'd be able to be done at probably 4:30, 4:35. Take an Uber over to Commonwealth. It's pretty close. It's not that far. Get dropped off on the backside, wheel in, get to the game, take an Uber back. You could do it.
We should make Josh Fenwick do it and stream the whole thing.
We should have sent someone. God, we should have planned ahead.
Triple header's no joke.
That is no joke. Like doing a double header is a big time commitment. That's like 6 hours. The triple header, you're talking probably 10 because you want, maybe you get there 1:45. But yeah, that's a pretty good shift. That is a pretty good shift. It's a solid 9-hour shift.
Especially if you're trying to work beers in that entire triple header.
Yeah.
That's a long day.
Oh, yeah, 9 beers, I guess. Well, people, what's that, 9 and 9?
Yeah, 999 club.
So I guess if you're Ubering, you could do the 9 and 9. You start one every hour. You're going to different games. It would still classify. It's the mixing in the 9 hot dogs. That is now 9 hot dogs over 9 hours is a lot more doable than 9 hot dogs in 9 innings. So you could do it, but a little pricey, So yeah, you have to pay. So I'm not saying you have to do the triple header and get bombed, right? You can do striping, mix in. Alcoholic, non-alcoholic.
Striping, it's called?
Yeah, striping.
Did you coin that?
No. That's what Steve and the fellas at Sherbrooke Liquor have told us. That's what it's called now. Because sometimes you go to a house party and you want to have a beer, but obviously, you drove there, so you don't want to have too many. So you have a beer, non-alcohol, because you can get a non-alcoholic Guinness, right? You have a Guinness, non-alcoholic Guinness, a Guinness, non-alcoholic. You feel like you've had 4 drinks, but you've only had 2 alcoholic drinks. So then you drive home.
I'll never forget the first time I saw an ad for Budweiser Zero on TV. I could not fathom for the life of me why somebody would be advertising alcohol-free alcohol. And now we've got Sherbrooke Liquor talking about their non-alcoholic section in a liquor store. How far society has come.
We've changed a lot. We definitely have. Craig Button will join us next on the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hawaii. The warmth of a golden sunset as the waves roll in. The freshness of a waterfall. The lush scent of tropical flowers in the air. You don't need to travel to enjoy all Hawaii has to offer. You just need to order pizza. Bring Hawaii home with the Aloha Trio, available for a limited time at Papa John's. Try our classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken for just $19.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And sports fans, stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Strudley. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
Can an energy provider make you feel carefree? We think so, because who doesn't like to be surrounded by good energy? Great rates always. Gimmicks never. Perks that reward your loyalty and energy experts who know what's what. Carefree just feels good. Encore by Epcor, your carefree electricity and natural gas provider.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
I've been job hunting for months, but I don't have the skills for the jobs I want. I've been job hunting for months, and with the help of Work First Alberta, I got hired.
Work First Alberta can help you change your story. It connects job seekers with training and resources to find meaningful employment. And it can help employers find qualified candidates. Learn how you can change your story at workfirstalberta.ca. A message from the Government of Alberta.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantor. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantor's products not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money. Support Canada at cantor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Roll through a busy Friday. Happy Positive Friday. Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. And while you're out there on their socials, you might see it. We have some new swag for you to check out. And you can get it at, you go to Sports 1440. It's right on the website. Or just go to 780. It's the word 7 and 80.com, and you will see the all new drop of 6 different shirts that you can wear.
Everyone looks snazzy, but Declan's I Would Have a Beer with Low Tide shirt, that is a really good shirt. Because if you bought that,
well, it's because he always talks about guys he would like to have a beer with, right?
Totally.
That's his thing.
But if you bought that shirt and you wore it on the road, somebody, let's say you go to Vancouver and you're walking around on a Saturday afternoon, one person will come up to you and go, I know exactly what that shirt means.
Yes.
And you will be immediate best friends.
Yeah, that's true. It's cool. Yeah,
If you know, you know.
We wanted to have a few, like, if you've listened long enough, you'll know certain references on the show. If there's any other ones that you think are good, let us know, and we'll get them made into a shirt for Sports 1440.
The KK shirt should be the really big program with not spelled correctly.
Why does he call it the program?
Yeah, program.
Program.
Yeah.
He says
the
program.
really big program.
Really?
Well, that's how I hear it.
Welcome back to the big program.
But I hear, yeah, program.
Program.
Not program. The A isn't extended.
Okay.
So program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who knew?
If
Who
you knew, you'd buy the shirt.
Now you know. Now I do wonder, we'll see if 780 has muscle shirts for Eddie. We'll see, because I don't think he wears a t-shirt. He can only wear a muscle shirt.
His Elks Nation shows with Declan, he's either in a 3-piece suit or it's like he came directly from Muscle Beach in Venice. There's no middle ground.
No, not at all.
If I had those arms, I'd be wearing muscle shirts 24 hours a day.
Yeah, nice. Con, so we have the Knobloch. Actually, no, let's get to the newest member of the Oilers as we get to the, because where's Butts? Is he MIA? We'll try to track him down here. He'll be in some trouble. But while we wait for Butts, let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. You can shop for over 15,000 vehicles at goauto.ca, 28 vehicle brands and 69 locations to choose from. Nice. GoAuto.ca. And Jack Roslovic just spoke about the opportunity and the decision to sign with the Oilers.
Yeah, you got the word right. That's going to be the theme of today is opportunity, an opportunity to win, an opportunity to play with great players. I've been to the conference finals the last 2 years too. So these guys obviously went all the way, but the fire is, it's in me too. So, I want to win. It's, I know how hard it is. It's a great opportunity.
Well, yeah. Word of the day, opportunity. I don't mind that, right? Like he's been on playoff teams. He knows like, hey, it's difficult. So opportunity to win and opportunity to play some great players, which could lead for an opportunity for a big payday. Let's not kid ourselves. So he's going to wear number 28. He will not play tomorrow. Chris Knobloch felt like, just let him practice. So he'll take a morning skate again tomorrow, probably stay out a little bit later, get some shots in, whatever. And then he'll skate again on Sunday. And then the Oilers will leave on Monday, traveling. And I would expect that Jack Roslovic will make his Oilers debut Tuesday on the road. First game, I think it's against the Islanders. So they're Islanders, Rangers, Devils. And that's when I would expect Oilers fans to see the newest number 28 in the lineup. Can he be... Oilers fans are hoping he doesn't go, what was it like? I can't remember how many games. Was it 60 games that Connor Brown went without a goal?
Something like that.
Something like that. So I don't think it'll be that long for Roslovic. And I won't be shocked. Well, he was practicing in a white jersey today, and the top 6 lines are in white jerseys. Or sorry, the top 6. Top 2 lines, McDavid, Draisaitl, Frederick, and then you had Savoy, as well as Mangiapane and Nugent Hopkins. So it looks like when he comes in, probably will draw in there.
It's always weird when Oilers leave, especially if they're Oilers that you've loved. Seeing Connor Brown in New Jersey is weird. It's weird seeing him in the jersey. The whole thing's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of how it goes. Imagine like seeing somebody that played 10 plus years. Like what if Nugent Hopkins ever leaves Edmonton, right?
Perish the thought.
Right, that would be different for sure.
It's my favorite when a new player comes in. You see them like Corey Perry in Oilers jersey looked so bizarre.
It's true. But he had played in 5 different teams for 5 years, so that kind of helped.
But never like the rivalry I always thought with the Ducks. I never thought I'd see Corey Perry in Oilers jersey in my lifetime.
Well, it's funny you say that because Andrew Mangiapane, when I talked to him about, because I saw Rasmus Anderson, him and they're good friends, and Rasmus Anderson said, man, I could never picture myself wearing an Oilers jersey, right? Mangiapane said, you know what? I kind of got over that because I was surprised. It was weird for me when I got a call from the Oilers because they reached out to him for free agency. And he said, that was weird. Like, get off the phone. I'm like, the Oilers want me to play for them? Like, being a Flame for so long, even though he played in Washington for 1 year, there's still a rivalry, right? Calgary, the majority of his career had been spent in Edmonton, playing against Edmonton with the Flames. And he said once he signed, it was different. But, so I could see that. It's even different for players, for sure. So let's get to Craig Button now from TSN. Butts, how you doing?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. Did we get you off the pickleball court? Were you warming up? What's happening?
No. I'm in Brampton. I'm watching a junior game tonight. Ottawa 67s at Brampton.
Now, is there any specific players you are watching tonight?
Yeah, 2 players. A kid by the name of Amadovsky and Vandenberg, and there are a couple of players that to me have some potential. And they're players you haven't seen. Like I haven't seen enough of them. So I want to try to see these guys a little bit earlier so I can kind of work through the season and kind of gauge some progress. And when I say I haven't seen, a lot of the players you start to see at 16 and you get a full year of watching them go through and then you kind of got a baseline. So, I've only seen these kids a couple of times. So I just want to get my baseline a little bit stronger and then go through it.
All right. Perfect. What do you make of Jack Roslovic and what he could potentially add to Edmonton?
I think it's a great signing. I really do. And I'm not going to back off on that at all. I think that Jack is a jack of all trades. Right? But he can do so many things in the game. And he can play in so many different positions in your lineup. He's a good skater. He can kill penalties. He can jump up to the top line. I call him a flex player. And I think for a coach, when you have players that can flex through your lineup, that's comforting. If somebody goes down, you need a little bit of a jolt here or there, a little different look. Jack can do that. Jack was a first-round draft pick by Columbus. Back in the day with the National Team Development Program, he played on a line with Austin Matthews and Matthew Tkachuk. So he knows how to play with good players. 21 even-strength goals last year in Carolina. I thought that Rod Brindamore used them really well. I was quite surprised that Carolina wasn't more interested in trying to find a way to get Jack Roslovic back. But, I think that for the Edmonton Oilers, it's just such a nice fit. We look at, can Savoy and Isaac Howard add a little bit of offense, give them a little bit of burst? I mean, that's their profiles. What can Tomaszek do? You get into the depth area, that's Roslovic. And I think that you're trying to build out your team to be deeper, to be stronger. And I think Jack absolutely adds to that. And I think it's a really, really good signing.
Okay. There's Craig, a few weeks ago, people were like, oh, look at all these potential free agents. And now Kaprizov, McDavid, Eichel, Connor, done. They're all staying. There's lots more room in cap. I think players kind of, what is comforting for a lot of players. And those teams are competitive. Minnesota, Edmonton, Vegas, Winnipeg. So, the grass might not be greener elsewhere. Do you think this puts even more of an emphasis on teams that are trying to improve, that they're either going to have to make really good, astute trades like Florida did to build their team, or they're going to have to draft maybe even better than they have been, because the odds of getting quality players in free agency seems to be getting less and less?
Yeah, well, the cap goes up, right? And teams, as you just pointed out, running a good program or competitive, the players all look around. They all say, okay, wait a second, I want to win. I want the competitive players. And there's some players that, are happy to be playing in the league. They might not be wired to win as much as a Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl, Jack Eichel. But the players you're looking for to have on your team are competitors. So they look around and go, well, wait a sec, I can go get a little more money there maybe, but am I going to be happy there? And I think that, to your point, it's hard. Because you draft a player, that's one player in a draft. You get two out of a draft. Well, if you want to get 8 players, that's 4 years. And guess what? That's a long time. So I think you have, to your point, you have to keep your finger on the pulse of what players may become available, and be ready to act. And look at Vegas, Jack Eichel, the neck issue, Buffalo was just a disaster, and Kelly McCrimmon goes, no, we can get that guy, and boom, you get him. Ottawa was a disaster. Mark Stone says, get me out of here. Well, those are the types of players, and I just used 2 examples. There's other ones where you got to be ready to act. Dallas Stars last year, Rantanen, he says, I don't want to go to Carolina. And I'm going to make a quick comment here. The Colorado Avalanche made an absolutely terrible misread on Mikko Rantanen, because all they had to do was pay him, and they didn't. They thought they were going to be smarter by half. They traded Bowen Byram. They thought they were going to be smarter by half. They've weakened their team without Rantanen and Bowen Byram, and they're chasing it. Brock Nelson's a good player. He ain't anywhere near Mikko Rantanen. So teams like Colorado, you're a good team, and you're missing 2 really good players because you wanted to be smarter by half. Teams better be careful of that too. And that's a great example in Colorado.
Yeah. Craig Button joins us. Craig, when you look at, it's early on, it's hard to make any evaluations of teams, but some early starts, I find, like the Buffalo Sabres. This is an organization that's missed 14 years in the play. They get shut out in their first game. Norris unfortunately gets injured. Man, it's not like a black cloud. It's like deep, deep ebony cloud that is over Buffalo. And I'm just not sure it's going to go away. This might get worse before it gets even better. And I didn't think it was possible to get worse.
No way. Josh Norris didn't get hurt. No way. You want to put a bet on something? My good friend, Doug Armstrong, he has a line. He goes, the problem with injury-prone players is they tend to get injured. There it is. Yeah. So they want to make this change, and they go and get Josh Norris, so they're just down the path. I'll be straightforward here, and I have nothing here to say. It's been a disaster. It's been a disaster. It was a disaster with Tim Murray, the way they handled Eichel, how disappointed they were in not winning the thing. They never celebrated him. Then the next group comes in and they want to run guys out of there like Ryan O'Reilly that are competitors, and they want to run Eichel in there. Then they bring in a guy, Kevin Adams, who was running the public facility, and they wonder why they're a disaster. They let 25 guys go from the hockey department. They're all going to start it over again. Years ago, Darcy Regier, when he was the manager, they started the same thing. They were going to go to all this. They got rid of all their people. This has been a 2-decade issue there. And let me say this too. Lindy Ruff's best days as a coach are long over. Over.
Yeah.
Like, so I just look at everywhere in the organization. I know Terry Pagula's a good guy. I know Kevin Adams is a good guy. I know Lindy's a good guy. But there comes a point in time when you better start evaluate what you have in place and who's running it. And right now, like, it's really clear to me, they're poorly run. They're poorly coached and they're poorly managed.
Yeah, 100%, Craig. And really, a lot of it is the owner might be right, but he doesn't know how to run a hockey team. That's obvious. You just got to look at what's happened since they bought the team. It is being dysfunction after dysfunction with no clear plan, and he seems to want to hire the people that he knows rather than the people that are best for the job.
Well, I mean, you got to hire the right people, right? And again, like you start going through it and you end up, I mean, they bring back Pat LaFontaine and we'd all love Patty LaFontaine. He had no history in terms of running a hockey team, being a president. He was an icon in Buffalo. So you bring him back. And then he hires Tim Murray, and we saw how that all goes. I mean, they go to Ralph Kruger. I mean, it's just one massive change after another. I'm Alex Tuck. I have no idea why Alex Tuck would stay in Buffalo.
No, I agree.
He's a free agent.
Yeah.
I think Alex Tuck's a winner, and I think Alex Tuck's a competitor. I would want him on my team. And I'm thinking to myself, well, like, Alex, you're going to have to make a big statement here, because you're either going to make a statement that you're wired to win, and I'm saying get me out of here, or you're just going to be accepting, and I'm just going to stay in Buffalo for whatever they're going to pay you. Like, the evidence is overwhelming that this is a poorly run team and organization. And until they give me evidence otherwise, there's no reason to change that opinion.
Greg Button from TSN joins us.
Can I add one thing too, Jason?
Yeah.
And if I'm a team on the outside, I'm watching Buffalo every day. I'm phoning. I'm trying to poach players out of there at every turn. Just like they got Ryan O'Reilly and Jack Eichel and Sammy Reinhart and Evan Rodriguez. Do I need to go on?
Yeah.
Brandon Montour. Seriously.
Tage Thompson would be one of the most sought-after players at $7.1 million for 5 years. Edmonton needs a shooter. Oh, my God. It'd be unbelievable for them.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Hey, Alex Tuck's a good player, too. He'd be a good player for Edmonton, too.
Yeah. Oh, I have said it 100%. Like, it's funny enough. I said on my show yesterday, Buffalo, bad start. I'm like, Alex Tuck, I know you said you want to be in Buffalo. At some point, it's like, I don't care. Like, I can live somewhere else for a few years because I'm a UFA. Like, there is zero reason. He should be going to the Sabres. Guys, I'll tell you right now, I love Buffalo, so I'm going to give you as much notice as you can. Trade me because I'm not signing here. That's his way to thank, for living there. That's what he should do, because there is no reason. Now, maybe they'll shock me and somehow turn it around, but they've already got injuries and they get shut out in their home opener or season opener, and they didn't look overly competitive. And I don't see any reason to believe that they're going to be going in the right direction anytime soon.
100%. And I like that. That's what I said about Alex Tuck. I think he's an excellent competitor. I think he's a really good player. Well, Alex, the ball's in your court. You get to make the statement. Just to your point.
Yeah.
Because if he stays in Buffalo, it's just like, okay, I'm happy to be here. And winning is as my good friend Craig Ramsey said, like, for some players, winning is good and losing is okay. If you want to stay in Buffalo, then you just said losing is okay.
Yeah. What about the Pittsburgh Penguins? I know it's super early. It's only 2 games, Craig. If Jenny Malkin looks unreal, I know he started good last year too, but the Penguins, they're starting to rebuild. They're bringing in young guys into their organization. Now, maybe they believe that they can retool on the fly. I'm just not sure it's possible per se. But at what point would winning become a detriment long-term to the Penguins? Like right away? What do you think?
Yeah, I think what Kyle Dubas is doing. I mean, you got Harrison Brunick in there, and you got Ben Kindle, who started the year, a couple other young players in the net. They made the trade for Sheloffs. And I think that what Kyle is doing now is he's showing that, hey, we got Crosby, who's still elite. I mean, one of the best in the planet. You still have Letang, Malkin's energized, everything that goes with it. Brian Russ comes back. He's a good player. So if you can inject some younger players in there and kind of as these older players can mentor you and be around you and kind of show you the way, I think that could end up being a positive. There's work to be done there. There's, Rector McGroarty is hurt. He's promising for them. So I think there's work to be done. I don't think right now what some of the younger players are showing, that they have to take it and dissolve it down to dust. And I think that we'll see what ends up happening here, but I think that Kyle has made a conscious effort to say, okay, we know what we have in terms of the older players, and we know we have legacy here, but at the same time, he's got to work to get younger players in there. And whether it be Rattel that ends up being traded for some younger players and picks, whether it gets Russ that gets be traded, I think it's already in motion as they're moving forward. So I don't think it's so much about winning ultimately. I think it's about, taking advantage of that legacy group, and as younger players come in, they can be part of it, understand it, learn from it, and hopefully grow into the next generation of players that can help this team be successful.
You look at Major Junior, Craig, and I'm watching closely because there was the big exodus to go to NCAA, and there's already been some guys who have left and come back, and I'll be kind of curious to see how many leave again at the end of the season. How many players do you think are going to go down there that suddenly realize, this wasn't what I was expecting when it comes to opportunity and everything else? And do you think as many players as we saw go there, are we going to see back over the next year or two?
Well, I think, and I'm going to do some work on this, and then I'll be certain to share it with you, Jason, when I do. I always go through the rosters of the NCAA schools and the age and everything. So I think that there's going to be, there's a lot of older players that that were going to go to U Sports that now have gone there. Yeah. Go look at Bowling Green. Dennis Williams is a Bowling Green alumni. He was in Everett for a long time. I think he recruited 7 players from the Western Hockey League, but they were all 20 years old. The path now for players going to the NCAA that are 20 is different, because they would have been going to U Sport because they weren't eligible. I do think there's going to be players that are going to look and say, this isn't for me, because it's twofold. It's playing. It's very competitive. You're playing against older players, and there's the student component, the student athlete component. So I think that'll come into play. I do believe we got to give it a little bit of time to play out, because as we see now, so what are colleges doing in the United States? Oh, we got NIL money for you. We got money for you, and so the player, like the allure of getting paid a little bit. Okay, well, the allure of getting paid a little bit. Well, the pressures are pretty high in the NCAA for these programs that are paying money to their players, and it can be uncompromising. So for players to start to see, what it means for them individually and what it means for their development, I think we have to just wait a little bit and see how it plays out. But J.P. Hurlbut, who plays in Kamloops, he wouldn't be in Kamloops right now if they didn't have this NCAA rule change. He left the NTDP to come up to the WHL. He's been a really good player. Noah Davidson, Willie Desjardins said that he goes, I lose McKenna, but I get Noah Davidson. Yeah, Noah Davidson isn't McKenna. So there's players coming the other way too that necessarily wouldn't be coming. So, my concern, Jason, is 17-year-old kids going to try to play in the NCAA. I think it's really hard. And for players that think that at 18 that somehow the next step for them is to go play in the NCAA. I understand that 19-year-old age, and I speak specifically to Keaton Verhoff at 17 leaving, and Cole Reshney at 18 leaving. You want to keep building. If Malcolm Spence went to Michigan, he's 19, he's played 3 years. I understand that one. I understand Porter Martone. The 17 and 18-year-olds, I'm going to be really interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, no, it's totally valid. You watch even the young guys right now, Craig, there seems to be a lot of rookies still in the NHL this year, 18, 19-year-olds who have eligibility to go back to junior. Coots is one of them for the Vancouver Canucks. There's Zane Perrick for the Calgary Flames, and there's a few others around the league. Ultimately, how many of these guys do you think end up playing 10, 20 games and then ultimately go back to junior? What do you think happens?
Most of them.
Yeah.
I think most of them. Players come into camp. They're high draft picks, whether it be this past year or whether it be last year. And in some cases, in the case of Sam Dickinson, I think he's going to stay in San Jose for the rest of the year. But for the younger players, Braden Coots, Ben Kindle in Pittsburgh. Like I think that they come into camp, they're promising young prospects. You want to give them a chance. They've shown that, okay, let's see how far they can go. But you start to get into the demands of the National Hockey League, and it's a whole different level. It's a whole different level of intensity, preparedness, and it's vigorous, and it wears you out. And so I think for the most part that the vast majority of those players will end up. I think Michael Misa will end up staying in the league. I think Schaefer will stay in the league. I think everybody else from that draft from last year will be back in the CHL. And it'll be interesting to see, like Jet Luchenko, like I'm watching again, like they had to have him last year, came back to golf, never found his footing, had to have him this year. He's not playing. Like, what are you doing? Like the Philadelphia Flyers right now, and I'll be very clear, and I have no problem saying it. They're not helping Jet Luchenko, who they drafted very high, succeed by doing what they're doing with him.
Yeah. 100% agree with you. It's not the best. You think you're helping a player develop. He's not playing. How the hell are you helping him develop?
Well, he's not only not playing, but they're not able to handle the challenges and the rigors. And so not only are they doing that, I'm going to give you the perfect example. And you know him very well. I know him very well. I knew him since he was 15 years old. Curtis Lazar. Curtis Lazar was one of the best 1995-born players in the country. He was one of the best goal scorers in the country. He comes in, he goes to Edmonton, great rookie year. Second year, he comes in as draft year. He's a pick by the Ottawa Senators. They're happy to have him in the first round. Comes back. Edmonton wins the Memorial Cup. He is a big part of their team, scores 40-plus goals. And then Ottawa goes, no, we need you. Be a third-line player. So he's a third-line player. That's not a skill set. That's not what you drafted him to be. Comes to the World Junior team in 2015, captains them to the world to the gold medal, goes back. The next year, he's a third-line player again. He's killing penalties. And then after that, then they send him to the minors and go find your offense. The Ottawa Senators failed Curtis Lazar. Nobody will ever convince me otherwise because they had to have him in the NHL. They had him doing something that they didn't draft him for, that wasn't a skill set. Curtis is going to give you everything he's got because he's wired that way. They failed him. They failed him massively. So other teams want to do it. My good friend Tim Bernhardt says NHL teams will never learn.
No.
Again, I'm going back to Buffalo. Until you show me otherwise, sorry. NHL teams will never learn.
Well, Craig, I tell you right now, when they put in that rule next year for 19-year-olds going to the American League, watch how many of them are going to derail their career. I'll sign it up right now.
You and me both.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should start a little like stock, and we'll have stock buys on. And you know what? We're going to be buying the downside.
Yeah. Wow,
not
100%.
the upside.
Because sadly, there's going to be a lot of, they're like, I hear it all the time. Oh, Craig, they're too good for junior. There's nothing left to prove. And I'm like, what? All everybody tells me is these guys' 200-foot game isn't ready for the NHL. Get him on the penalty kill. Get an organization and say, hey, we really want you talk to the coach and say, hey, we really want you to work with him, help him get better defense. Because guess what? He can make mistakes there because that's how he's going to be better. He's still going to dominate offensively. Don't get me wrong. Because at the NHL level, every elite offensive player is like, you know what? I can still be elite offensively by being better defensively. But it's easier to learn how to do that at junior than it is in the NHL.
No question. There's a lot of really good coaches. I heard last year in training camp, Easton Collins learned everything he can. They can't have him go back to junior. It'd just be a waste of his year. Oh, really? Going back and playing for Dale Hunter, going and playing for the London Knights, practicing every day hard and with good players and being put in different situations, that's bad for you. Right. And then I would ask, and this is the Toronto media, and I would ask, how many times did you guys go watch Easton Collins play live and see how much his game grew? And, again, you're telling me you can't go learn from Dale Hunter? Please. And there's lots of good coaches. You can't go learn from Willie Desjardins. You can't, there's so many good coaches in junior hockey. That is one of the dumbest things. Oh, they've learned everything they can. Oh, okay.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Craig, great stuff, buddy. Enjoy the weekend. We will talk to you next Friday.
And hey, you know what? 2 thumbs up for Noah Gregor signing in Florida. Really happy to see that.
Well, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I had nothing to do with it, but good for him. Yeah,
I know you did, but I know how proud you are of him, and it's good. And I think that he's a type of player that'll find his way into games and help him be successful. So I'm really happy to see that. Sometimes you got to bet on yourself. Noah did that. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
You too, Craig. That is Craig Button from TS. N. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. 5 questions on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money. Fluent? Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th. I'm sorry, I don't speak deals. Spend less, save more when you buy round black things from us. Oh, got it. Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
It's back. The world's best curlers are returning to this queue for the Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge. Join us October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center as top teams from around the globe battle it out for glory on the pebbled ice. Enjoy world-class curling and an unforgettable fan experience, all right here in our community. The Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge, October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center. Don't miss it.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better at On the Rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs. Specializing in selling and servicing cranes, get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
And we roll through it. Busy, positive Friday, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. Now, they've been shut down today because they're going to open up just after 5 o'clock for 7 hours. It's midnight madness, 50% off mattresses. Customers are getting $50 credit. The first people in line for furniture, decor, mattresses, 35% off furnitures and other unreal savings, but only for tonight for 7 hours from 5 until midnight at all Brick locations. Go in store at The Brick.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys, question number 1 for you today. Elks and Oilers in action tomorrow evening. Let's get predictions for what happens in each game.
It's a good question. I would think the Elks are... I'm never going to pick against Edmonton, by the way, Connor, just so you know. Just respect clarity.
How about scores?
Yeah, Elks win 30-20, and the Oil win 5-3.
Now that Winnipeg game is tough, man. I'll say the Elks squeak out a 23-20 victory.
All right.
And Oilers couldn't. Well, I remember last year thinking, oh yeah, the Oilers can't keep losing to start the season, but they did. I didn't love their game. I think they'll play better. So I say the Oilers win 4-3 in overtime.
Question number 2 for the Oilers tomorrow night. If it was your call, what would the top 6 look like?
What would it look like? I guess I would say I'll go. Well, tomorrow night, I'm just going to be the same. I'm not changing.
Draisaitl, McDavid, Frederick.
Yeah, I'm not changing.
Mangiapane,
Yeah.
Nugent Hopkins, Savoy.
Yes.
I would agree. Good folks at Daily Faceoff agree too.
All right. Well, we now know that Pickard could be an option tomorrow, but let's say Skinner does get the call. Would you have Pickard getting a start before the next weekend back-to-back?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You're not going to go for the first 5 games of the season before he plays. So I actually think he's going to start tomorrow. Part of me wonders if that might have been predetermined at the start of the year. We'll see. But he'll definitely start in the first 4 games, but I think he's going to start.
I think Pickard's earned the trust of the team. I mean, this playoffs are unbelievable. I would hope he plays 25% of the games, 20% of the games.
Question number 4 for you guys here. What is your prediction for the AL and NL Championship Series? As we've still got the Mariners, Tigers, Cubs, Brewers. We're ready to wrap up.
I'd say Brewers over Cubs, Mariners over Tigers.
Yeah, well, Milwaukee's been good all year long. So, yeah, it's hard for me to go against them. The Tigers, though, man, I think it's going to be hard for them to beat, for the Mariners to beat Skubal again. So I'm going to say the Tigers.
All right. Final question. And it's a bunch of questions, but rapid fire. 1 word only. That's all we require here. Question number 1. How many steps should you leave between the person in front of you on an escalator?
Peak traffic?
Yeah. Anytime.
Well, I think it changes throughout the day. If you've got a lot of people in the mall and you're moving around, you got to.
It's not 1 word.
This is minimum.
1 word.
It's minimum no matter the time.
2 steps.
1 step between.
Who finishes with more goals this year, Nuge or Hyman?
Hyman.
Is Trey Ford starting quarterback for the Elks next season?
No.
When you make a grilled cheese sandwich, what is the best way to cut it?
Diagonal.
Turkey or ham at Thanksgiving?
Turkey.
Yeah, probably turkey.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. I've become a big fan of ham, though. I like a good ham.
I like that rapid fire round, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
That's an innovation.
It's a new wrinkle.
I like it.
It's not bad at all. You broke it, though, by ruining the 1 word.
That's true. I wasn't
now
used
when
to
I
it.
say 1 step in between, it's like them, no step, me. Because some people, you don't want to be right, hovering on someone. I don't want to smell their cologne or perfume or BO, depending. So, I don't want that. And, now, I guess like what you're saying, when it's jam-packed, you're kind of like, hey, man, every time it comes up, maybe there's no room. So, but I'm trying to think, when have I been on an escalator that's like jam-packed?
Been a while.
Yeah.
Airport.
I always try to take the stairs anytime. I'm a big stair person. As much as I can, I will take the stairs. Like here at the mall, because if you come out into the main mall, if you go left, you can go down the elevator or the escalator. But if you go right, you can go down the stairs that are right by the hotel, and that takes you down to the main level. So I always take the stairs. I just find, you know what? I can get the stairs. It's quicker if I want to run. I can run down the stairs. I just like taking the stairs. Stairs to me, I mean, anything other than if you're going 4 or 5 flights up, I get why you take the elevator. No problem. Obviously going to be quicker. Or if you have a bunch of groceries or you're carrying lots of stuff, I get it. But it should be, the elevator should not go, well, I guess I shouldn't say that because obviously there's exceptions. If you're disabled, got a disability, sure. But able-bodied people should not be allowed to go 1 floor on an elevator when they're empty-handed and have nothing. The worst.
We did a really brilliant thing to encourage fitness at Nation HQ. It's a 3-story building. Aaron Bordato got caught in the elevator for 20 minutes. And now everyone takes the stairs because no one wants to get caught in the elevator. So it was great for Nation Fitness.
No, there you go.
Boardsy got stuck in the elevator.
For 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Was he scared?
He wasn't, but he's like, I'm not claustrophobic, but I didn't enjoy it. I think that's fair.
Well, because it's not that high. It's only a 3-story building. So
Right.
if you're like, oh my God, if it's going to fall, you're not going to die from 3-story fall, I wouldn't think.
It's more being entombed for all eternity.
Mm-hmm. So.
But those elevator repair guys, they're always on call. When you call them from the elevator, they're like, yeah, I'm on my way. And then they were there.
Really?
It really works well, the elevator repair industry.
Did not know that. Did not know it. So. Let's go to the con man. Sports 1440 update coming up. We got Spec LT in the final hour of a busy show. Portions of this hour let's get to the sports update brought to you by Loca Quality Markets. 2 locations that serve you better, Edmonton and Sherwood Park. And guess what? Over 200 chef-prepared gourmet meals are waiting. Loca.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Just one game in the majors tonight. Tigers and Mariners right after 6 o'clock. Winner of this game gets the Jays on Sunday. We'll have that game for you here on Sports 1440 radio feed only. Week 19, the CFL kicks off tonight. Riders Argos getting going shortly. The Elks in action tomorrow, taking on the Bombers just after 5 o'clock at Commonwealth Junior Hockey. Nothing tonight, but tomorrow you got Oil Kings and Moose Jaw meeting at 2 o'clock. UCHL this evening. Sherwood Park in Spruce Grove taking on the Saints at the Thompson Family Arena. That gets going at 7 o'clock. In the AJ2 game tonight, Old up against GB. And you got Camrose in Drumheller. Golden Bears taking on the Griffins at the Clare Drake Arena just after 7. Pandas also taking on the Griffins at the DCA at 7 as well. CJFL, Wildcats in Regina. Huskies host Winnipeg. Both those games go on Sunday. And in the WNBA tonight, Game 4. Aces can complete the sweep. They take on the Mercury just after 6 at the collegiate level. You got number 24 South Florida meeting North Texas, Washington, Rutgers, and Fresno State taking on the Colorado State Rams. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we will be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Alan Mitchell, host of the Lowdown with Lowtide. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time.
Connor Halley, hope you are having an awesome
shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io.
Friday.
Business made better.
Noodle, 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 noodle.
And we roll through.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Michelle and Colette are sisters. Sisters who don't agree on much, especially when it comes to which hockey team is the best.
Edmonton is the best, baby. Vancouver's number 1.
Even when it comes to meat snacks from Wilhawks.
I love the Herrenschwiener. The ham sausage rules.
But they will agree
Wilhawk beef jerky is the best.
it might just be the only thing Alberta hockey fans can agree on.
Others can try to imitate, but no one can duplicate Wilhawk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win friends with salad.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy! Oh yeah, save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium. November 22nd. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance, featuring Devin Brain from $1 Million Quartet and an all-star band. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and at the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
Fall into savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half Ton Crew Cab. But like the Leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Just after 5. How are you? Your weekend is here, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you got big plans because there's no shortage of sports plans. If you want, you can do the triple header. Oil Kings, 2 o'clock. Elks, 5 o'clock. Oilers, 8 o'clock. Awesome. You want some local? You got the big rivalry, the Saints and the Crusaders in Spruce Grove tonight. You got some U of A and Grant McEwen. They got a home and away this weekend. Tonight at U of A, tomorrow at Grant McEwen, and the Pandas. Women's side will do the opposite. They'll play Grant McEwen tonight, then they'll play at U of A on Saturday. So that's fantastic. It's like a rivalry weekend. I love it. It's great. It's a good time for sports all over the place. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by playalberta.ca. And trust me, they're all over the place. Better odds, easier to maneuver, especially if you download the app. Get the app at Play Alberta anywhere on your app store. Oilers, lineup changes. I think the goalie, but we'll see tomorrow. The rest of the lineup doesn't sound like very many changes. Darnell Nurse didn't skate today. Coach said he was sick at home, but they expect him back tomorrow. Up front, Jack Roslovic will not make his Oiler debut tomorrow. Wait for it on the road trip, which begins next Tuesday, is likely when you'll see number 28 in the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. And Jake Wallman is on IR. He's not going to play on Saturday. But once he's activated, they're going to have to make some moves. So there'll be some moves coming here in the next week or two. 3 or 4, really, by the time you get to Zach Hyman when he returns. So there are lots of guys kind of having an October edition for the lineup. As we get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction. Edmonton and the surrounding communities are constantly growing. New houses and roads are built every day before the overpasses go up. Guess what? GS Construction is there to work on it to ensure everything is going. That's GS Construction. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet will be joining us momentarily. I think he might have just, who knows? He might have just fallen over because he was on the line and then it went dead. So we'll see if it picks back up. Hopefully he's not like Cam Tate and didn't plug in his electronic device. That wouldn't be good. But Spec is with us now from Rogers Sportsnet. Spec, how you doing?
Hey, go on, brother.
Oh, you know what? Big weekend. Lots happening. Big game tonight, of course, Seattle and Detroit. I love, basically it's like a game 7. I know it's a game 5, but winning you move on, losing you go home. We got another one. Your Cubbies, a dominant win in game 4, so they got game 5 on Saturday. We got every NHL team in action tomorrow. I want to start there, Spec. I'm a big proponent that the NHL would be better, and they're doing it. Not completely. And I get maybe there's the odd time you can't do it fully, but having set nights, Thursday night, Saturday night, Tuesday night, those are the busiest nights in the NHL. Friday's the least busy night by quite a bit compared to the other ones. And I'd like to see it even more so. I think the NHL would be better off if you looked and said, we know that most day, this one day, we're not going to have games. We might have the odd one in a blue moon, but for the most part, we're going to have a day off. I think it'd be good for the league. What about you?
Well, I mean, I'll play along with you and say, yes, it'd be good for the league if we all knew that they played on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But you got to remember, buddy, that their buildings have NBA teams in them and WNBA teams in them and concerts and rodeos and circuses and whatever else is going on. So there's just like, you tell the people at MSG that the Rangers get a set 3 nights a week, and they're going to tell you, oh, yeah.
No. I said only one day a week you don't play.
So there's one day that's there's no hockey.
Yes.
Then okay. So what value are we getting to know that on Wednesday there's no hockey game? Why is that a good thing?
Well, because
I don't get it.
Well, if you read the studies on it, by having people miss something, they yearn for it more.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the old saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? It's no different. And, because to me, Friday night, like that's the night that has the least amount of NHL games all season, right? There's 93 games on Fridays. And actually there's 1 week where they have 15 games because it's Black Friday in the US. So that'd be the one exception. I get why they play that day. It's a huge day in the US, like massive holiday. But, whereas Saturday has like 340 games, right? That's where you have a lot of your games. You have Sunday, you have a lot of your games. Thursdays, they want a lot of games now. Even Tuesdays has the third most games. I just think if you have a little bit of a night off and there's the rare one here or there because of scheduling, okay, fine. That's the only way we could do it. Because what you can do is, if you're a hockey fan, NCAA, CHL, U Sport, they all play on Fridays for school and youth and everything else that makes sense. And if you did that, I think it would actually be better for hockey overall. It's a change, yes, but the NHL's slowly been doing it. There used to be way more Friday games. They've slowly eroded games on Friday and games on Wednesdays. Not nearly. Remember when they used to have Wednesday was a big night? It's not anymore.
Well, there was a time when Hockey Night in Canada was on Wednesday and Saturday, but yes. Hey, listen, I'm not going to rain on that parade. If you think it's a good idea, I'm all for it. I mean, I know this. We like Saturday night hockey.
Yes.
That's a tradition. That's what we want. That probably means that there's going to be less Friday hockey, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what that means. And I'm okay with that. Less Friday hockey is fine. More Saturday hockey. If they play Sunday, I don't care, because Sunday's for other sports generally. It's for football and golf. So yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's take Fridays off, man. I'm all for it.
Looking at the orders taken on the Canucks, Roslovic won't play on Saturday. He's likely going to make his debut next week.
What do you think of Roslovic? Let's talk about this guy.
Well, I've talked to a lot of different people who've seen him way more than me, right? Like he's played on good teams the last 2 years, Spec. He went to the conference finals with the Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes the last 2 seasons. So
he did.
So you know what? Hey, he's good enough to play on those teams. Like it's, there is some difference if you're, playing on a 30th place team than playing on a contender. So there's that. He's a complimentary winger who's got some real skill, who can finish. The one knock I heard is kind of tails off a little bit. So can he maintain it? And, that's obviously the question. But every scout I talked to said, and I want to read the last one I got from a scout that said, he can create something out of nothing. There are often times where you don't see him, but I think he'll do pretty well if he gets an opportunity with the big boys. He just doesn't have the extra gear to stick his nose inside the play often enough. So that's my one concern, right? Like come playoff time, you can have 1 or 2 guys like that. You can't have many. And ideally, you don't want any. So he's either got to learn how to stick his nose in there a little bit more often, or he probably won't be a playoff guy.
Well, okay. So I guess my question to you becomes, what are the Oilers, like, where are they looking to improve?
Top 6 wingers.
I get that you need guys to get you to the playoffs. Every team's got guys that are really good in the regular season, and maybe they're not unbelievable in the playoffs, but you got to get to the playoffs. But the Oilers have that. They're getting to the playoffs. So they need guys specifically. Like, why did they lose to Florida? They lost in the harder areas of the game. They lost in that pinching defenseman in the blue line. They lost in their wall play. They lost in keeping Florida from scoring from net front. So does Jack Roslovic help you with any of that?
No, I think they need a shooter, Spec. And that's, like, to me, their top 6 production wingers, not named Zach Hyman, simply haven't been good enough the last few years. Nugent Hopkins is going to play center now. He's proven he doesn't score when he's a top 6 winger at 5-on-5. The numbers don't lie. They've been there for years. So why would we bang our head against thinking he's suddenly going to score? He's not. Podkolzin's not a scorer, right? Arvidsson wasn't a scorer. Skinner wasn't a scorer. So I think that's what they're still looking for. Zach Hyman's the one they have. I think that's why Ike Howard might get a little bit of a look here. You're going to try Trent Frederick and say, hey, we saw guys like Maroon and Cassian, because big bodies who can play straight lines, they had success playing with McDavid. So let's try him. and brought in Mangiapane. Maybe he can do it. He scored a really nice goal in game one. And then you throw in Roslovic. So that's what I think they need. And this is like a trial run to see how it works. And, it's only $1.5 million. And then we'll see near the trade deadline spec kind of how they view it, if this has worked or if it hasn't worked.
Well, if it hasn't worked, you can't trade him. He's got a no move and a 4-team trade list. So it's very difficult to move him. I mean, I don't disagree with a lot of things. There's a lot of player there for 1.5. It's a nice move to pick up a guy for free. Like Bowman's getting really good at getting free players. In fact, he's got so many, he's got a bit of a logjam. But I'm going to say to you, Jay, that Roslovic, I mean, he's 28, right? He kind of is who he is. We never acquire a 28, 29-year-old player and expect him to be something other than what he's been for the last 5 years. He's not changing now. This is the guy he is. And the guy he is scored 21 regular or even strength goals last year, tied for the lead of Carolina, which was great, but he didn't score one goal. He scored 2 goals in the playoffs. They were both on the power play. Didn't score an even strength goal. Rod Brindamore, who is, probably knows a hard-nosed player, knows a guy who's competing, because that's who he was. Rod Brindamore healthy scratched Roslovic for 6 out of 15 games last year in the playoffs, right? The year before, he scored 1 goal in the playoffs for the Rangers. It was a power play goal, not an even strength goal. He's never scored an even strength goal in the playoffs. So, awesome. He scores in the regular season, and his perimeter game doesn't help you much in the playoffs. That's his history. Maybe it changes. I haven't seen many 28-year-old cats that change their stripes, buddy. Sorry.
No, I totally agree with you. So, it's not – I wasn't wowed by it. It's like, hey, you know what? It's a low-risk play, and who knows? Some guys, they get somewhere else and they find pay dirt. It's happened. It's rare.
He's on his 5th team, buddy.
Oh, hey,
he's on his 5th team.
Dude, would I be betting on it? No. But that's what I'm saying. For them to say, hey, we're going to try it. It costs us $1.5 million. And you know what? Is the guys that he's going to take off the roster to be in there isn't somebody where you say, oh my goodness, I can't believe he's coming out of the roster.
That's right.
Right. So
that's totally fair. And not only that, he's not taking up a big whack of cap room. So all of that part's good. And you make the point. Whoever's coming off the roster is not as good a player, and we're going to live with that. Whoever's coming off the roster wasn't going to come in the playoffs and score a bunch of goals either, is the point. So my point would be he's not going to hurt you, this guy, but I'm going to sit back and watch, not for the first 3 months of the season. I want to sit back and watch when the games get hard, when the rink, remember Corey Perry always says the rink shrinks in the playoffs. I'm going to look back and see if he can help you when that time comes.
Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, now Wallman's on the ice, so maybe that's fine. But, this was supposed to be, hey, he was going to play in game 1. Now he's not playing in game 2, and I guess they're being overcautious. But if this stretches out any longer, it starts to become a concern for me.
Well, hey, newsflash, they lie about injuries, right? Every NHL team.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we blame the coach, and I see some of my colleagues talk about a coach being not telling them the truth. The coach just is the poor sucker that's got to stand in front of the microphone every day. But it's an organizational decision to not allow people clarity on injuries, and the Oilers are no different than any team in the league. Poor Knobloch's got to come up and, I'm not going to say lie to us, but try to throw us off the scent. But in fact, I don't have a hot clue how injured Wallman is until I see him practicing like I did today. He's got to be not bad because he went pretty hard. But if you're waiting for the team to come out and tell you every ounce of truth about every injury, buddy, you're going to be waiting a long time.
Yeah, no, it's very true. You look at it like next week, they got to make a move because Wallman's getting closer. And when I talk, he feels he's for sure joining the road trip. So that's one guy who's got to come off the roster. Janmark, what do you think happens to Matthias Janmark? Does he just come back in the lineup? Do they send someone down? Do they send him down? What do you think happens?
Well, I mean, first of all, does he need conditioning? They may buy themselves a couple of conditioning games. It's not that often you send a veteran like him to Bakersfield for conditioning.
Yeah, but if you're on, but that doesn't help because if you're on conditioning stint, you still count on the roster. I'm pretty certain. So
okay, so someone's got to go basically, right?
Yeah.
They are. Listen, unless they continue to have injuries and they can just keep a carousel of guys going in a big circle here, at some point, there's no question they have too many players, right? They just have too many players. So, yeah, Ike Howard's looking over his shoulder. Curtis Lazar's looking over his shoulder. Troy Stetcher's looking over his shoulder. Every guy at the bottom of the lineup is looking over their shoulder because they got to make moves. The CBA dictates that. So who's it going to be? I don't know who it's going to be. It's going to be, I could tell you who it's not going to be. I can name about 10 forwards who it's not going to be, and I could probably name you 6 or 7 defensemen who it's not going to be. And whoever's left on that list that we didn't name, they're all looking over their shoulder right now, buddy.
Yeah, no, it's true. This is this month is like an extended training camp when you think about it, because when Zach Hyman comes back, there's 2 guys who got to come off the roster cap wise, unless someone else gets hurt, of course, that obviously changes it. But assuming everyone's healthy, you know what? So there are some significant changes. Now we know 1 defenseman, so that's an easy one. There'll be a forward, but then there'll be some multiple forwards because right now they got 16 forwards.
Yeah, you can't have 16 forwards. You generally you go through a season with 13 forwards.
Yes. So yeah, they got like 3. You can have 14 depending on your cap space, but yeah, they've got at least 3 moves to make over the next 11 days. So this is going to be an interesting kind of open competition. We know there's certain guys, like we know which 5 defensemen aren't getting moved. And yeah, I think we kind of listed off on our show. I think there's 8 forwards that we think are pretty much almost locks to be in the lineup. So there's 4 spots that are going to be up for grabs and open for competition, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. First of all, it's great. You want competition. Internal competition is the best form. The second thing I guess I'm waiting to see is, does Stan Bowman just keep all these contracts and send a couple veterans down and hope that no one gets claimed? Or does he say, you know what?
Trade.
Yeah, Noah Phillips. We've decided Noah Phillips is going to play 4th line center. We're going to trade Curtis Lazar for a 5th round pick, you know?
Yeah.
And then maybe just sort of not have to fight with this thing all year. Remember, when you send a veteran NHL player like Lazar to Bakersfield, all he's doing is taking time away from some young prospect down there. So that's not ideal either, is it?
Yeah, no, it's very true. Spec, have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the games. The Cubbies, are they going to do it? Are they going to complete the comeback?
Well, I heard you 2 guys both picked Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Like, thanks a lot. All I know is Wanye is generally wrong in pretty much everything he predicts, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And you know nothing about baseball, so that makes me feel good. So
I'm honored you've been keeping track, Spec. Thank you. I am often wrong.
All right, boys, I'm going to watch Tigers to Seattle. I'm looking forward to that tilt. And the Cubbies are going to kick butt tomorrow, I promise.
All right. Well, there you go. You've never been wrong either, Spec. So we look forward to the win. Just on days that end in Y. That is Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Quick break. When we come back, LT will join us. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is sounding the call. Don't struggle through winter with a furnace you can't trust. For maintenance before winter strikes,
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
for furnace tune-ups and repairs to give peace of mind.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or to scrap your old furnace for a brand new high-efficiency one.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
And with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your new furnace, it's gotta be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Looking at the Alberta weather forecast, wild, unpredictable, brutally tough.
When the weather turns tough, Titan Supply doesn't back down. Titan Supply has been protecting workers from conditions like this for 50 years. We stand tall with you against the elements with the industry's best rigging, hauling, and lifting products to get you home safe. Tire chains, wire rope, round slings, chain slings, and a whole lot more. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary. Online at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
I've been job hunting for months, but I don't have the skills for the jobs I want. I've been job hunting for months, and with the help of Work First Alberta, I got hired.
Work First Alberta can help you change your story. It connects job seekers with training and resources to find meaningful employment. And it can help employers find qualified candidates. Learn how you can change your story at workfirstalberta.ca. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular priced order when you enter promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
You did? Oh. I don't care. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. It's always brought to you by playalberta.ca. Better odds, more fun, revamped site. Check it out, playalberta.ca, or download the new and improved app. Much easier for the games that you want to play at playalberta.ca. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz with you as we're going to go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years in business, and guess what? They're looking to expand. They're hiring second, third, and fourth year electricians. If you got the goods, apply today. Careers at actionelectrical.net. As the host of The Lowdown with fresh new glasses, Alan Mitchell from noon to 2 joins us now. LT, how you doing?
I'm very well. I'm very well with my brand new glasses.
Brand new glasses that matched your new shirt. I was very impressed by your trendiness of matching glasses to your shirt, Al. It's good.
I'm just staring at you at YouTube these last couple of years, and you always seem to have you're sort of like a match set, your glasses and your whatever else you're wearing. So I don't know what kind of, wild times you have planned next, but I'm just copying you. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, flatter him. That's good, man. That's good. Impersonation's the best form of flattery, as they say.
There you go.
LT, I just saw Declan wearing the I Could Have a Beer with Low Tide shirt. That is a fine garment indeed, sir. A fine garment.
I've had a lot of reaction to that today. I had a few folks say they want it in a hoodie. And I said, let's just do the T-shirt first, and maybe we'll get a hoodie later, A
man can dream.
Yeah. But I mean, I told people the first time I see that shirt in the wild, I will buy a beer for who's wearing. Now that doesn't include Declan. Nice. Doesn't include Declan, but I'm talking about a real person.
Okay.
I was saying, LT, you wear that shirt out of market. You're walking down the street, say you're in Calgary or Vancouver. Someone will eventually come up to you and wink knowingly and touch their nose and walk off, because those who know.
Yeah, well, but that's a dream for sure. But I will say this: that I like the gear, guys. Like if you haven't gone to 780, go look because it's very cool stuff. I like all of the T-shirts.
Yeah, it's pretty good. At 780, it's doing great. So we're happy to have that collaboration. It's fun. Now, Oilers have collabed with Jack Roslovic. He's not going to play tomorrow, but he will play on the 5-game road trip. Al, what's your realistic expectation? What do you think he can add to this team?
Well, he's a goal scorer and he can play with skill, and the Oilers need that. Now, I don't know. We'll find out. I pay attention to puck IQ quite closely, and when he played in Columbus and New York during 23-24, he played a lot against really good opposition. They faded him a little bit in Carolina, probably because they didn't need to, they've already got guys there who can play it, but he scored quite a few goals there. So this is one of those, peculiar things where if you look at the guy's numbers, you're like, man, why did he, not sign earlier? But the word was he wanted, a very specific contract. The Oilers apparently offered him a pretty good one, but he was one of those guys when the regular season started or training camps got going, he was the guy without a contract. So I think he'll score on skill lines. I don't know, Chris Knobloch likes to be responsible, so we'll see what because sometimes scoring and outscoring are two different things. But I think this is a hell of a bet. I think he could play on a skill line.
Well, I think that's where they're going to start him for sure. He was in the white jersey, and usually the top 6 are the white jerseys of practice: McDavid, Draisaitl, Frederick, and then Mangiapane, Nugent Hopkins, and Savoy. So that's where I think that's where he'll slot in. It wouldn't shock me if he gets a look with McDavid and Draisaitl, potentially, depending on how Frederick does in game 2, and then they move Frederick to a different line. Like, that won't shock me. Knobloch, he's never been afraid to try different things. So, we'll see what happens with the different combinations there. What about in goal, Al? Who would you start? Who do you think starts tomorrow?
Well, I would start Stuart Skinner. It was one game. He has to. We know what Stuart Skinner does and doesn't do. But if you recall, I think he was ill. He missed a start in camp. I think he started. He played 2 games.
Yeah.
So I would. For me, it's a long season. He's your starter. You've committed to him. You got a new goalie coach. He's come in. In great shape, and he's got a good attitude. I would run Skinner. I'm not sure what way the coach is going. You on the other side of it, you want to get everybody involved early in the year, but I would start Skinner. We'll see.
Yeah, I have a hunch that it might be Mr. Pickard. So we'll see how that goes. It's just I was watching practice today, so I'm going to go off a hunch.
LT, how much of the season do you think Cal Pickard should play? Like, it's not necessarily punishment for Stu Skinner to have someone like Cal take the reins. How much of the season would you give him?
Well, I think 30, 35 games for a backup like Pickard is not a bad idea. I don't think Skinner is overplayed during the regular season, but 82 games is a lot. So if you go 52-30, maybe that's a little too much. So 45, 37. I don't see any problem playing Pickard. He showed well. Calvin Pickard's a good goalie. I know that there's a tendency to look at his numbers and say, well, yeah, he plays the lesser competition, but he's still playing in games. He's got a really good record. The Oilers play well in front of him. Sometimes that's a weird tweak on these things is they seem to be very confident. They like him, obviously, based on what we are, told. So 30 to 35 games, I think, is fine for Pickard, and he is I know he's in his 30s, but he's shown well. Like, I think he's an NHL goaltender who can play. So, not that Skinner is like getting old or anything like that, but you should be able to play Calvin Pickard. If there's 5 games in a week, you play him twice.
Yeah, I think that's probably realistic for sure. Al Mitchell joins us. The defense is it too early and obvious to say that when Wallman comes back in the lineup, Emberson comes out and Regula stays in, or do you need to see more from Regula before you make that decision?
Well, I think Regula's the guy, and the reason I think it is because he's mobile, he's big, and you want to have that size. Like, I love Stetcher and Emberson, I like them, but I think Regula is a big player who can move the puck, and that combination is a really nice addition. So I think it's probably going to go back and forth, guys. As the year goes on, it's good to have that much depth. I do wonder what's going to happen when everybody gets healthy, but I think that's the pecking order for now, anyway. And we'll see. Nurse was, I think, ill today, but he'll be back apparently. So. I think it's Regula, but we'll see. It's nice. It's a nice problem to have. The Oilers, for me, there were many years where you were worried about, the depth and how much, real youth was on the defense, and now that's not a problem. I feel like they could make any decision and it would be an okay one. They've got some real nice pieces back there.
No, that's true. Al, what about the Mariners Tigers tonight? Who do you want to see the Jays play? Who do you think the Jays are going to play?
Well, I'm a big old fan of the WDIV coverage of George Callahan, Al Kaline back in the 80s. So I'm a Tigers, fan from the point of view of watching baseball and following the Tigers over many years. But I think the Mariners are going to win the game. And I think the Mariners-Jays has all kinds of history. They came into the American League at the same time in '77. And, Jays have won 2 World Series. Mariners still looking for their first one. I think the Tigers would be an easier out for the Jays, but I'd like to see Mariners-Jays. I think that would be the best series.
Ooh, I like that. Al, Elks at home, Bombers tomorrow. What is Edmonton? Do you see this as a win? The Bombers before the bye, they got Caleros back and they played really good. Do you think Edmonton can beat them? And if so, why?
Well, I believe Declan Kruger, and Kruger assured me and wrote on Elks Nation that they're going to win. So I'm thinking they're going to win. I mentioned this, I think, last week to you, that what I'm hopeful for the Elks is the last game they play this season has some meaning. And look, they might find out in the first quarter that that they're out of it because of another result out of town. I think it's really important for this franchise. This is a building year, right? And they're signing guys. They're bringing back the coaching staff. There's all kinds of positive indicators. You've got to a championship doesn't come like overnight, and man, they were wandering in the wilderness for a long time. So a win this weekend, and then you never know. I mean, Declan spent quite a bit of this week talking about going 3-0 and how that might work. It's still there. So all you have to do is win the game on the schedule, and that's tomorrow. So good luck to the Elks, and hopefully this will be a story next week too.
Al, have an awesome weekend. Chat with you later.
All right. Be good, boys.
Take a quick break. We'll come back, wrap things up in the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksYEG.com.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at Cantork.com.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XPMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen, as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, till the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy! Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House. Indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregorpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EUL. Get your power play amped up with EUL, supplying the City of Champions and Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. EUL.ca is your partner in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Wheeling through, final segment of the week. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. The Gregor Show is always presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game all day, every day. And when you're there, whether you want to play games, casino, live dealers, you name it, they got it. Use the promo code Gregor50, make a $50 deposit, and you'll get a $50 free play at PlayAlberta.ca. Nice.
The one thing you told me, Gregor, when I started doing this,
when the red light
well, it wasn't on though. You said you have to bring a laptop, Wanye, so that it looks as though you know what you're doing. So I have my laptop in front of me here. 3 days ago, this laptop died. It has been charging the entire time, stone dead. So I thought to myself, I'm going to go to the Apple store, get them to fix it. I went there. They're like, you can't just walk in here off the street like some guy. You got to make an appointment. Perfect.
What?
Yeah. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to trick Gregor and just put my dead laptop here at the studio. So that it looks as though I'm put together.
You're researching something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About an hour and a half into the show, just for no reason, I hit the power button. It turned on. So positive Friday, huge win. Laptop no longer fried.
Basically, you just rebooted your computer
after 3 days of being stone dead.
But did you hit the start button before?
Of course. I'm trying to say a miracle happened here at Sports 1440.
So now it's working fine.
It's working fine, fully charged, all my documents, everything's back to normal. Now, will I learn any lessons from this? And go to
do you have it in backup?
Backup computer?
No, but do you put certain files and back them up?
No.
On a drive?
Absolutely not.
Well, you probably should do that.
It's not a bad idea.
Well, no, it's a very good idea. Like everybody, if you got anything important on your laptop, you always should back it up.
My Genius appointment at the Apple store is at 6:30. I canceled it because I no longer have any problems.
Well, that's fair.
It's like preemptive medicine. No.
All right.
So I just want to thank everybody, 1440, you specifically, studio, for creating such an environment that dead electronics
Well, it's
come back to
positive
life.
Friday, man. That's what happens. You come in, the positive vibes, just reboot it.
When something like that happens and then the problem solves itself, it's like you got a free new computer in my mind.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
It's a good Friday.
Yeah.
It's not actual Good Friday, but it's a good Friday.
Yeah.
And I think it bodes well for the Oilers winning tomorrow in Vancouver. A lot of momentum.
No, in Edmonton versus Vancouver.
Yeah, but they're going to win.
Are you sure about that?
I got a lot of momentum.
Oh, all right.
My new computer says
Yeah,
it's not that crazy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I look at the Oilers, and I don't think they love their game. Like, I know everybody focuses on the one Skinner play. The game, that was the big, most obvious error of the game. No question about it. But that was only one error they made. He didn't make any other errors the whole game. They were up 3-0 and sat back and didn't generate very much and allowed Calgary to come back in the game. And then they scored 1 out of 8 in the shootout.
Who do you blame more on that goal? Do you blame Bouchard or Skinner?
Well, no, it's 100% Skinner.
100%?
100% Skinner. Every player I talk to, when you dump it in the goal, you cover the puck because you have to look at the entire situation. Why is he even considering moving the puck? They've been out there long. The other 4 guys were changing. You got to look and know, keep your head up. Look, okay, we're changing. I just cover the puck. Just eat it. It's 40 seconds into the third period. This is not where you're like, okay, you know what? We're trying to keep the play alive. There's 30 seconds left and we don't want to face off. No, it's 30 seconds into the period. Well, it's actually 43, right? Those guys were coming off. They were just dumping the puck in because everybody's changing. So just hold on to the puck. End of this. Like Bouchard standing there. Watch every time the goalie stops the puck when it's a dump in. They never just give it. You move it to the defenseman. The defenseman doesn't come and take it from you. So no, that's not on Bouchard at all for me. That is all on Stuart Skinner. And he owned it. And now when he plays next, then he's got to play better. It's just that simple. You can't have a big gaffe every few games. You just can't do it. That has to be eliminated from his game.
I like to get a lot of my news, especially Oilers news now, from Flames Nation because they're just so salty about everything. Watching their take on the Connor contract, so funny. They declared that the goal of the year, that Skinner goal. So that's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. Goal of the year in game 1.
Well, that's not though. Like, did you see the San Jose game last night?
No.
Yeah, well, he scored like, you know how Skinner stopped the dump in from center? San Jose was leading with 1:34 to go. They missed 2 chances at the empty net. Then Jack Eichel cross center dumped it in, and Nedeljkovic had it bounce through him and scored to tie the game. And then in overtime, it's 3-on-3, and Vegas dumps the puck down the ice. Nedeljkovic wisely comes out of his net to play it. There's only 3 people on the ice in the opposition. He hits Riley Smith with his dump out. It goes to Shea Theodore. He goes back to Riley Smith. Wide open net. They lose the game. They were leading 3-2 against one of the better teams in the West that actually played a really good game up until that point. And the tie happened on a dump in from center. And then he lost it by giving the puck over in overtime. So that one was, that'd probably be a worse sequence for sure. And like I've always said this, we could do a whole segment of bad goals every night in the NHL of other goalies. And that doesn't say that Stuart Skinner has to be more consistent. 100% he has to be more consistent. But I think some people think that they're like Skinner's the only goalie in the league who allows bad goals.
I'm starting to think San Jose is not going to be a good team this year.
No, they're not. That's, you know what? If you want Gavin McKenna, that's the way to get Gavin McKenna.
Thank heavens we're
Right
not
there.
the tankathon days anymore.
Oh God, that was like, it was fun for like the first time. And then after that, it was not. It was painful. You host a Decade of Darkness sports talk show in a hockey mad market where the team is out of it at the end of November. And the end of November. And you know what? Because even after a while, that's actually how we came up with Positive Friday, because people were just like, okay, I'm done. Like, you got to find something that's positive to talk about. Because how many different ways can you say, wow, this team stinks? And there's another move that didn't work. And here's another guy. It's not very good. But when your team's not very good, you're not like one free agent's going to flip the switch and snap your fingers and suddenly they're good, right? Like now, Jack Roslovic comes in. The Oilers are a good team. Jack Roslovic could come in and bury a few chances. Well, that helps a good team because that's what they're looking for. But he's not the difference maker. The difference maker is still 97 or 29 or 2 or 18 or 93 or, Ekholm, whoever, go down the list, right? Like, where would Jack Roslovic rank on, like, he's not your core. He's just a complimentary guy. And if he becomes a regular in your top 6, that's outstanding because that's what Edmonton, I've said it. I don't know. He wouldn't be my choice. I don't think he's the answer to it. But he might be the answer to it for a while and see. Maybe he's a second liner, but I'm not sold he's a first line player on a cup contending team. Actually, I'm pretty confident he isn't, but I could be wrong. But I don't view him as that. I do think now Hyman comes back. That's great. I do think they need another legit top 6 scoring winger. That's one thing they need. They're going to need more consistent goaltending. Stuart Skinner, when he's on the top of his game, is very good. He's proven it. We've seen it in the playoffs. Dallas. Ask any Dallas fan. They're like, what do you mean Stuart Skinner's bad? He's kicked our ass 2 years in a row, right? Look at Vegas last year. He has a high-end game. The problem is his low-end game can be pretty low. And that's where you have to get the floor closer to the ceiling in his game. To me, that's the easiest and the best way to explain for Stuart Skinner. His floor has to be closer to his ceiling on a more regular basis. It can't be like the ceiling's on floor 9 and their floor is floor 0. And no, you want to be more like our floor is a 6. Okay. Some nights you're going to be a 6. Some nights McDavid's a 6, right? It happens. So that's, I think, where it needs to be for him. He can't have where your floor is a 2. That just can't happen anymore.
McDavid 6 is most people's 12, though.
Well, McDavid, there's 9. McDavid, like, people forget the last 2 regular seasons, Leon Draisaitl's been the best order.
That's shocking.
But it's true. Wow. I don't even think it's much of a debate. Look at the numbers. Look at Connor McDavid has 58 goals the last 2 seasons. Draisaitl had 52 last year in 71 games. Then you look at their defensive play, goals for and against. Draisaitl in the regular season has been the best order the last 2 years. And I think the gap might surprise people. So that's a good problem. And I think McDavid can play better than he did last year. So that'll help the team. But I look at Stu Skinner, just find your A and your B plus game and have a C game every now and then. That's totally fine. Everybody's going to have a C game. Just, you can't have the D games, and you can't just have good, and then like a blow up that results in 2 or 3 bad goals and lose game. That's what he has to eliminate. And he's still, by NHL standards, a younger goalie. He hasn't even played 200 games. So that's a good sign. We'll see if he improves it. We'll come back on Monday. Actually, we won't. Monday's a holiday. Happy Thanksgiving. We will talk to you on Tuesday. There'll be Jays games. There'll be NHL games. There'll be lots to discuss, and you'll be right here, 7 a.m. with Carius on Monday. We do have the pre- and post-game show tomorrow here on the Sports 1440 starting at 7 o'clock. Please don't drink and drive. Don't weed and drive. Get home safe. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
One game in the majors this evening. Tigers and Mariners getting going in about 10 minutes time. Winner of this one gets the Jays on Sunday. You can hear that game right here on Sports 1440 radio feed only. CFL Week 19 kicks off tonight. Riders Argos in Saskatchewan. That gets going at 7 o'clock. The Elks in action tomorrow, hosting Winnipeg down at Commonwealth. Kickoff at 5. Junior hockey, the Old Kings off today, but we'll take on Moose Jaw tomorrow down at Rogers Place. That gets going at 2 o'clock in the BCHL. Got the Crusaders and Saints meeting at Thompson Family Arena just after 7. In the AJGP, hosting Olds and Camrose in Drumheller. At the collegiate level, McEwen up against the U of A Golden Bears at Clare Drake. At the Downtown Community Arena, you've got the Pandas and Griffins meeting. In the CJFL, Wildcats in Regina with the Huskies hosting Winnipeg. Both those games Sunday afternoon. And WNBA Finals game 4 tonight. Aces can complete the sweep when they take on the Mercury in about 10 minutes time. And at the collegiate level right now, number 24 South Florida trailing North Texas 7-0. They also have Washington taking on Rutgers and Fresno State in Fort Collins up against the Colorado State Rams. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Up next, Fox Sports Radio. Live local coverage resumes tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. with the Saturday Sports Setup. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440.